Hey, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Mad Scientist. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. What's up? How you feeling, AI? What's cracking, bro?
I'm feeling amazing.
Yeah.
I'm getting my stuff together right now. But yeah, we're on. It's a nice night, man. We're on earlier than usual. We're kind of out here. The levee's busy.
How's it going, guys?
You know, we're out here. But I will say, I'm still saying WHO DEY.
Still got it, bro. It's only one
Still
game.
saying WHO DEY. I mean, the reaction that we're getting from just people in general. I mean, we didn't have T. Higgins. You know, Burrow came off last year playing pretty good, but like, think about it. He didn't play any preseason games. There wasn't like, I mean, he played a little, but it wasn't enough to really get your footing. And as a team, I mean, we lost Joe Mixon. Like, there's just a lot with the WHO DEY.
Yeah.
We just got to remember that as WHO DEY fans, you know. But I don't want anyone to panic because I do believe that the Bengals are definitely playoff bound. We are definitely up there with the Ravens, even though the Ravens gave the Chiefs a good run for their money, but it was off a toe.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
It's crazy. But we have the Chiefs this coming week. This week,
it's really going to show, our potential, bro. Because it kind of like I know I've seen the stats, and it seems like every week one game we always just have to figure things out. But when it comes down to it, bro, like everyone was so excited, like this is our year. Everything is going on, and I kind of feel like there was a lot of not diva shit going on, but more of like. Instead of focusing on the now, it's like we're focusing on years ahead, right? Like when, it's great to think 5 year, have a 5-year plan for sure, but at the same time, like we're in this right now, like you know what I mean? Like the
definitely
week starts next week.
I was gonna say I don't really consider it a 5-week plan at this point. A 5-year plan. I don't really see it that way because we have these athletes in their prime. This is a now plan. You know what I mean? Like we're in our Super Bowl era now. We've already been to the Super Bowl, so now it's about going back to the mountaintop and showing that we're capable. And it's kind of rough that for us that we got rid of Joe Mixon and then he goes to Houston and has a game like that, like his yardage, like over 150 total yards, like plus some, and then he had multiple touchdowns, and he's just having a career game in his first game on an offense that's going to crush all year. So he's going to get fed all year.
Oh yeah,
he's going to have a statistical. He's going to probably have his career year. Which is wild to think how long he was here, and then he goes there, and the flourishment is just.
So what do you?
It's crazy.
What do you think that falls down to? Do you think that falls down to like coaching, play calling? Is it Burrow looking for the deep ball and just trying to, using Mixon as a last minute resort instead of like going to him right away, you know what I mean? Like, because I kind of feel like last year a lot of the plays that Burrow and Mixon had were like outlet passes, like when Burrow's under pressure, so it's like a dump pass to Mixon to try to get 3 yards instead of hiking the ball and then using your offensive line to push Mixon through. I mean, obviously that's happened plenty of times, but I feel like more cases than not, it was like an outlet pass, to Mixon just to hope to gain
using
a
his
yard
athleticism.
or two.
I do think that we mismanaged how we used Mixon ultimately, because I do think we should have played about in the flat. We should use his athleticism even more than we did. We should put blockers in front of him, kind of like the Patriots offense, and treat him like a slot receiver almost. They did miss the boat on that a lot of times, but I think in that offense that he's in now, it is definitely he's a perfect running back for that. And now they have Stephon Diggs, so they're able to spread it out and get him involved on the running game. I think on our end, we definitely need a more brute back, one that's really going to hit, those holes and like put some brute force in, because Mixon isn't that. He's not that. That's not how he's built. We are an offense where we already have the speed on the outside. We need to make them fear the run, not fear the finesse of the run.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So and then we do a lot of we got to keep doing out in the flats, play action, because we need Burrow to do a little bit of running more than he's doing, because we are worried about his health. But that's his value is really, being able to make plays and with his legs, and maybe not on Lamar Jackson's level, but he does need to give that dual threat to a degree, because that is his strength. He is able to run. He's an athletic quarterback.
Right.
He is. Yeah, he's gotten injured, and that is putting him in harm's way. But it's also helping him, because if they think he can run, they're going to sit back and not pressure him.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're going to put pressure, because our O-line is still suspect, man. Our O-line is still a problem, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, I think Zach Moss is going to be a strong asset. Mm-hmm. Brown is obviously going to be a strong asset through his growth here in Cincinnati. But it really comes down to needing those weapons on offense like T. Higgins, because we didn't play with T. Higgins. And I think because Jamar Chase it's almost like the weight is so much here. So
I mean, it's almost it's just
double him.
It's just like Stephon Diggs and your boy that you were talking about, having two firehouse running backs, like you don't know which one you're going to go to. And it's the same thing when it comes to wide receivers, right? If you've got two powerhouse wide receivers that A, can juke, and B, can stretch out and land the catch, you know what I mean? Then you're not having to double Jamar. You're not having to just say, as long as I can cover Jamar, they're not getting the long ball out. You know what I mean?
Right. But when you don't have to worry about T. Higgins,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because he. I know we love to talk. We love to talk. Jamar Chase is our number one, and I agree. He is definitely the number one. He's definitely that guy. But T. Higgins is tall.
Yeah,
T. Higgins is tall.
Bro.
T. Higgins is tall, so he's got
He's
got number one wide receiver on quite a few squads, actually. So he just happens to be in a situation where Jamar Chase,
he's a Scottie Pippen right now.
He is. When he really is a number one. Jamar Chase has got that connection, Burrow to Chase, and we know the history behind that, where T. Higgins comes from Clemson. So it's just not the same on the history level, but on a sense of a football player.
Oh, for sure.
If you would put T. Higgins in next to Justin Jefferson, those two are just, that would be terrifying, because the height, because not only Higgins is good hands, fast, can run any route, can do anything. He can
that arm, bro,
over any cornerback. They don't stand a chance.
Right.
When you don't have him as a threat that the offensive or the defensive coordinators have to worry about, where our offense can thrive with him, you're lopsided.
Right.
And then they can go you know what? We know Chase is going to get the ball a lot, even if he was limited reps. They didn't pull him full on because they say he had illness, but obviously this contract thing it's all us up in arms, which he's still a year early on the contract. I don't want to jump too much into that, but he's still it's too early
to be sitting out during practice and things like this.
Yeah.
And it shows too, because when the press conference after the game, when they're asking Jamar and Burrow, why did Jamar only have eight catches, or fucking talk to the coach. You know what I mean? Ask the coach. And it's it's obvious that they're punishing him for pumping the brakes on not being a full participant in spring training. But, he was still out there getting the work in, doing these things. But at the end of the day, if you're not there catching the passes from Joe Burrow and not learning the actual plays and running the plays with the team, it's obviously it's going to show, down the road when it's time to perform. But at the same time, if the coaching is at the point where they're not actively saying, but drawing plays that eliminates Chase because of him wanting to sit out during the pre-games. It's a double-edged sword, man, because we want to win these games, and obviously we shouldn't have lost to the Patriots in our own field.
Hey, let's give the Patriots some they may have had some down years, but
their quarterback
Brissett,
looked great, bro. For being a backup quarterback,
but he has been in the league.
Yeah. I
mean, he's been in the league for some years now, and I do think that Patriots' new culture from the Bill Belichick era to now this new era of Patriot way or whatever you want to call it, they are definitely making they're not the Bills,
right?
They won't be the Jets, you know what I mean? But they're going to be a formidable fight each week, even though they may not win a lot of games. They're not someone to just push around. And when we're down people, expectations are really high, for us. So when we don't hit those expectations, obviously people are starting to freak out. People, how the city loses its air when we're not.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's insane. When we're not good, the city just has this vibe that's
they go home and they make soup, bro.
They go home and make soup. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we win, they stay out and they drink till 2 a.m. It's a strange city we live in. But
yeah,
that's
if you don't win, those bars aren't busy.
No.
Banks is slow. By the time people are like, "Oh, I'm cashed out by 7," if they win, you're closing the bar out at 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a huge. It's not like one of those things where all right, well we won, so we'll stay till 10. We're staying till the very bitter end.
They're fucking partying.
Bitter
out,
end.
Bro.
If you lose,
Monday morning hangover.
If you lose, they're like, we can get home in time for dinner.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's go pick up a Gold Star on the way home.
Right, exactly. And it's wild that our city is like that. And I don't think it's one of those things where we're like, "Oh, you're only a fan when you're winning and not when you're losing." I think they live so passionately about a team that has let so many people down over the years that now we have this hope, and when the hope is pulled, it's more deflating than it ever has been.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? It's more deflating now than it ever has been.
Yeah, Burrow's back. He's stronger than ever, all this stuff. And then it's bro, we didn't see any of it. I want, every year my stepdaughter has a cheer tournament. So it's I've got to opt out every week 1 game, and I'm sitting there watching this cheerleading competition and watching the game on my phone, and I'm looking over at Kaylin, filling her in on the game. I'm like Burrow hasn't thrown a deep ball at all. Our defense is just fucking missing tackles left and right. I don't know what's going. And I really couldn't hear the game because I'm watching the thing, but it's that's exactly what was happening. It was why, dude? I thought we fixed all these holes last year. When we got these people.
We did some damage control, but I think a lot of it's starting to fall on these off-season.
Yeah,
it's kind of muddying the water.
I got it.
Yeah. So Tyrell, what's your thoughts? Let's get you in here. Tyrell on the pod tonight. What's up, dude? What's up?
Yo.
Love having you on, man. I know it's been a crazy week at the store. We just had the fireworks last weekend, so it's kind of been up in chaos right now. But what are your thoughts on the Bengals? And maybe you can talk a little Ohio State if you want, but let's talk some Bengals first.
Opinions on the Bengals. I always come in on the tail end of what's going on. So I see things and I don't see things. So I let you and Jay have your moment, and the same thing with when Yam is here. But for the stuff that I do see, I think in every season there's always a hiccup that can be fixed. There's always a goal that can be met. There's always more that can be done. And then everyone wants to point the finger when they lose, but then when they win, it's we don't talk about the things that went wrong. I think
even despite a win.
Yeah. I think analyzing it on both sides of the coin. When they win, okay, what can they have done better? When they lose, okay, what can they do better? I think it's a lot to do with pay attention to every opportunity. That's, I guess from the viewpoint of how much I've seen, realize that, there could be another weapon. There could be another, pass that could be thrown. There could be a shorter pass. Pay attention to every single opportunity that's there, not just the one.
The game plan, like
having that.
That's on coaching.
Burrow,
that's on coaching. Really,
having that Burrow Chase dynamic is beautiful. It's great. It works in a lot of teams, but realizing that there are other people on the team. So you mentioned Ohio State. So I want to point one piece of information out that I saw afterwards. An Ohio State player was available for a pass on a different team, didn't get that chance to take it. So do you blame the quarterback? Do you blame the coaching staff? Do you blame the city because this is a moment that happened? Just realize that there are other people on the team other than Chase, other than, Mixon, other than T. Higgins, and allow
Mixon's
them
in Houston now.
Allow them to just in general allow them to have their moment as well. A rookie can surprise you. We had a rookie quarterback come in and he did really decent. He could have been fantastic. He could have been terrible, but he did decent. And, Burrow wasn't in the game and he still played his heart out. He still did what he needed to do. So just realize
Jake Browning when he was here.
Yeah. Jake did. He did a pretty decent job for what he had.
He's not a rookie, but he's definitely backup for like. But But I think
rookie in general.
Yeah, like not a regular starter. I think you make a good point. So the utilization of your entire 53-man roster rather than putting all your pressure on, your quarterback and wide receiver combination. And I also think on top of the using the whole, utilizing your whole squad and using those strengths, I think the coaching and game planning strategically and making it more of a chess match rather than trying to outscore the other team. Because obviously the goal is to outscore. But if you're trying to treat it like a track match, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to outrun them at the end of the day, who can get there fastest? If you get strategic and you go, all right, well, we can get there fastest if we play our normal conventional way, but how about we just do a few offsetting, maybe trick plays, offsetting plays that are kind of out of our own characteristic that they're game planning for, because they're also defending us just as much as we're trying to do offense. So how can we confuse the defense and defensive coordinator with our moves, like making Chase Brown, Zach Moss, maybe putting them both in the backfield and have them split out and, choosing one or A or B that you can throw the ball to and getting blockers on the end. There's so many different plays. I'm not a coach. I'm not trying to tell the coaches how to coach and whatever, but I do think utilizing strategy and treating it like chess. Treat football like chess. There's so many things you can do in a game,
Don't make every play so obvious. 90% of the thought process is, well, they're going to throw it to Chase. So if everyone expects you to throw it to Chase, then they're going to cover him as much as possible so he can't get the ball. Let's not throw it to Chase every single play. That's just, mix it up a little bit. Just utilize the talent that you have out there. They brought a lot of good guys in that can really, be assets, be weapons. That's the whole reason that they're in the NFL in the first place. Utilize the team, stretch it out, throw it to Chase every other play or throw it to Chase this much, switch it up, just make use of the team instead of just the one dynamic. There are a lot of teams that can do that and do it effectively, and it works great. But when you're in a situation where you need to win every game or you need to win as many games as possible, just spread it out. That's just, my takeaway from, what I saw, what I heard.
Spread the wealth.
Yeah.
And I think there's strength in numbers in that sense too. We do have talent. We do have offensive talent. Not only do we have offensive talent, we have grade A offensive talent. We have Jamar Chase. We have T. Higgins. Both, like I said earlier, they can be number one wide receivers on most. If you were to take T. Higgins off of the Bengals, outside of maybe the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill, the Vikings with Justin Jefferson, maybe Devontae Adams in in Vegas. Those three. Let's see who else might take a number one spot from him. He's really going to be the top. He's like a top 10 receiver for sure.
Right.
And we have both of those guys. We have a top 3, top 2 receiver, top 4, whatever Jamar Chase is, and T. Higgins, which is in the top 10. Not a lot of teams can outshine those guys.
You got to be healthy, though.
Got to be healthy. But what I'm saying is we have the talent across the board, and then you throw a guy like Zach Moss in, a Chase Brown in, Gesicki, the tight end, who is a new addition from the Patriots. He's solid. He almost got that first touchdown, but they took it away.
Yeah.
But we got the people utilizing it like chess. This is a coaching thing. This is coaching is basically what it's coming down to. We have the talent. It's just we were out-coached. We were outplayed. At the end of the day, again, we thought we were going to win, but I think that's an eye-opener. We always start slow. Nothing to freak out about. We always start slow. Whether Burrow's healthy or not, it's slow, slow, slow. Yeah. And we got to remember that as Bengals fans.
And remember,
but, dude, my Rams looked pretty good though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they played the Lions. The Lions came out with the victory, but the Rams looked pretty good.
They played good. In the game.
I'm still a Rams fan. I gotta like to talk a little Rams, but Cooper Kupp had himself a big day, and I think we're living in the best football era. We have the most athleticism. The most athleticism that we've seen. We've got, it's literally right now, football is insane. And my fantasy teams, everyone's in this, like, in the grind. It's amazing to see everyone come together at this time of the year.
Oh, for sure.
When we're at one point when we're not, like, everyone, like, baseball season is a weird time. Reds, we love the Reds, but they were kind of out of contention early on, so... But now it's football season, and seeing all the videos from the banks, I wasn't there. I was here in the store. Had quite a decent watch party though. People were in here watching. I had Red Zone going. It was like it was a good time. Yeah. The cool thing about the TV though is I can have split screen within the one thing.
Right.
Inside the app.
Yeah.
It's
legit.
It's
dude.
Next level. I'm definitely gonna go that route. But yeah, man. What was your take? Tyrell was talking about how we need the full team to do it. What was your biggest take from the Bengals game watching at home? Because we did raffle off tickets. So how
raffled off tickets. Amy Dillman, congratulations. Her and her husband were the winners of the tickets.
Yes, congrats.
They didn't know about the brand. They popped in. I remember the conversation too. Her and her husband came in. They ended up buying 2 shirts because of the raffle that we had going on. So. They only had 2 raffle tickets in there and ended up winning the tickets.
So they were from this store. This was like a VOA raffle part.
No, yeah, this came right from the store.
Because remember VOA, we got quite a few in there because of the VOA situation.
Yeah, they were great, man. They're older couple, but they were super excited about it. They were like, "There's no way like that we won. We never win anything." And it's like, "Yeah, you really won these tickets." And like, please, like, take a photo in the seats. Yeah. And tag us because people don't think this is real. They always think that we give these tickets to our friends or whatever, and it's like, my friends, all my friends can get tickets. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel. I feel like
all my friends, if they want tickets, like they've got a connection. You know what I mean? So like for me or for us to be able to raffle off tickets, like we could sell the tickets. We could sell them on eBay or not eBay, but Ticketmaster. And we can make the brunt of the money for it, but it's a lot more fun to be able to do a $10 raffle, and so a $10 raffle we sold about 80 tickets. So if every ticket was $10, that means we made $800 on those tickets. But a lot of them were buy a shirt, get a raffle free. So it's we may have made $600 on those tickets, but we would have made more if we put them on Ticketmaster.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like these are the things that we like to do because like especially like we have a young fan base, right? We got the kids that come in that they want the Bengals merch, they want this, they want that, and it's like there's no better feeling than somebody like a 12-year-old kid with his mom that won tickets just by buying a raffle or just by buying him a T-shirt.
I mean, I think about it every time I'm in the store because, like I plan on going to the game hopefully sometime this year and going to whatever. But I really enjoy watching it from the store where people are coming in, and like it just adds to the experience. I have the sound playing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of fun, and people come in and like, you know,
it's a rarity, dude. It's like it's so weird that stores don't allow proper music or music videos or sports games on.
Yeah.
You know, so like you were saying, when people come in here and you've got the sound on and
they can sit and watch.
There's three
while
or
the family
four
goes
people.
in.
Yeah, there's three or four people standing around the TV
while
watching
dad
it.
can sit with. Yeah, it's awesome. Literally, it happened this. We were sitting here all chilling. There was about 4 or 5 of us. We were gathered around the TV watching. I had Red Zone on, so I was flipping through all the games, and the Bengals game is on the right one, which goes to commercials. Switch right to Red Zone because Red Zone there's no commercials. It's literally like any close to scoring play right to that game until the next one. It's just a never ending. Red Zone's amazing. But I'm sitting here and watching with this guy, and his kids go in the lab. He's like, "Oh, I've seen the lab." He's like, "But I'm this is pretty cool. You got Red Zone here." I was like, "Yeah, I got Red Zone right here." He's like, "Mind if I just?" I was like, "No, yeah, just stay right with me, man. Like you don't have to worry about it. Come hang out." And they were in there for a while, you know what I mean? And he got to set up for me for like 15 minutes and just watch. We watched every game that was happening all that same time because during the Bengals game, even though it's not coming on all the time for Red Zone, I got it on the right TV, so you can still see when nothing's happening, when they're putting the ball or whatever. But on the left TV, it's like touchdown. This is happening. It's just excitement the whole time. And I've got the volume on the Red Zone, and we've got the Bengals game muted because Red Zone is just a constant feed of content.
Yeah.
It really is just constant because
it's just a ticker. It's like it's way better
and
than
there's a guy that's talking the whole time. Chris, the host, he's just telling you what's happening and he's giving you stats like
that's dope.
History stats, like literally, like he's like, fun fact about that's actually the first kick return in the history of this and this and this, and he gives you a frame because he obviously has an amazing team at Red Zone. So like
that's crazy. And like
it's instant.
The analytics that go into all that.
Oh, it's it.
Where they break it down like this is the first time that this player's ever done this while doing this, this, and this, and it's like how do you even keep these stats? Like how do you fucking understand that?
Early AI.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's those old people that are sitting in the baseball crowd that are just crossing off the balls and strikes on their scorecard, bro.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, they keep track of how many times, how many players get hit after whistle blows.
Oh, that's that's crazy.
Like they keep track.
But it totally makes sense.
There's someone counting how many. I mean, I'm sure now it's technological, but there was someone counting how many times after whistle hits happen.
Yeah.
To keep track of the brain damage that was happening.
For sure.
So like, that is just next level. The fact that they're worried about everything, and even after the whistle blows, they're worried about what's happening. That's
that AI stuff that you and I got to sit in and listen to about. What was his name? What was that? Fucking.
Which one?
Chauncey Lepardi's dad or uncle Lepardi.
Everett.
Everett Lepardi. Everett Lepardi.
Emmerich. Yeah.
Shout out to Emmerich. Yeah, bro. Yeah. We got to meet this guy that works for AI. Actually, he's worked for Procter & Gamble for 30 years. Quit Procter & Gamble to start an AI company that's taken AI and is infusing it into baseball, so they can actually see when a pitcher is going to throw out his arm before his arm is thrown out. So they can be like, "Hey, you're putting too much tension on these muscles. Like we're going to pull you out before you tear a tendon or something." And that's crazy to think, bro. That like that's where the technology is going. But when you think about it, like Amazon on those Thursday night games, how do you feel about Thursday night football?
I'm biased.
I want to know this because
what?
People don't realize when it comes to football, like Thursday night goes to Amazon, and then like the Sunday games are across the board, ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever. ESPN gets their little shot at it, but it's like you don't think about it on a consumer level. But every time that a new sponsor has the game, it's new film, new camera views, new sound, new angles.
It's true.
Like there's so many things that go on to it, and like these Thursday night football games, like
I love them.
They're awesome, bro. They are
great.
awesome.
They're better than Sundays.
Did you realize if you have an Amazon Fire Stick that you can click a button and it shows real time stats?
Yeah, that. What? Yeah.
Is that across the board? Is that any of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was just an Amazon thing.
I think that's
because
an Amazon on Amazon TV. I don't think any remote. I think it always shows it because Amazon, they have like 4 different broadcastings within the same one.
I didn't know that.
So you can watch. What is it? You can watch the normal broadcast.
You can watch it with like the Cincinnati announcers or the
Yes.
Patriot announcers.
So each side.
Or
and then,
the
and then I think
Nickelodeon
Spanish,
slime version.
The slime, which is another version.
That was
But
Nickelodeon.
then- yeah, and then you can also watch it in like a what is the terminology? Basically like
like a blimp mode, like overhead.
No, it basically it gives you like it tells you the player on the screen on offense, all the players, and then it basically there's a line that basically follows where they go.
Oh yeah,
and it's like a stat.
It's at the Bengals app, so it just shows like this ball went from the 5-yard line to the 60-yard line, and it's like it's got little marks here and here. Is that what you're saying?
In real time.
Yeah.
On the actual game screen, so you're watching it. It basically a stat reporter in real time.
Oh, that's crazy.
So when like the guy throws the ball, it goes there and the guy catches it and he gets tackled to tell him how like fast they were running.
That's the crazy thing is like the real time stats on Amazon is like showing how fast they were. I don't know if, like, I mean, it's the beginning of the season. I didn't pay attention to it the first game, but last year Amazon those were the things that I was like, bro, this is next level. Like Jeff Bezos is fucking thinking outside the box because it's like, how do we make this better than Sunday Night Football? How do we make this better than Monday Night Football? You know what I mean?
They've made it better. And I like it because I'm chilling at home with Charlie, so I'm having a great time. Me and her having our tea parties or whatever we're doing, and then I got football on the screen on Amazon Prime, and I'm just like, Thursdays are great when football season, but like on the actual like content of which they're releasing like in-depth statistical knowledge and commentary all in one place, and you're basically getting history, because like Red Zone gives you history in the middle, like literally he'll be like that. It's so funny. This is the first time, like after like something will happen. Like let's say a rookie catches a touchdown, okay, and the rookie catches a touchdown in the back of the end zone for over 20 yards, okay. Chris will be like, the host will be like, this is the first time 2 rookies have caught touchdowns in the same day over 20 yards, both on the East Coast. Like he'll know this, and you're like watching Red Zone, like, is that real? Did you just make that shit up?
How did you even know to put in the like how hard the wind was blowing when this touchdown happened? Right. You know what I mean? Like other than AI, it's like.
But AI wasn't around back when it was like the 80s.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So they go back in the history of everything and they report it, which means they probably have had every game looked over by AI at this point, and they probably had all the stats brought out into a gigantic database. Because you know how I could see that. Remember how we like when we were at the AI week and we met those young dudes in the sense
Farmer guys?
No, the guys from Boston. The guys from Boston, they were like, one had just turned 21 and the other one had just turned 23, and they were already worth $16 million, and they were worth $1.6 million, and their company was worth $16 million, and they were one of them had just broke 23. Like he just had his birthday the month before AI week, and he's like, yeah, I just turned 23. He's like, but we created an AI that you put anything in it and it'll pick all the information out in 0.5 seconds.
That's
he's
right,
like,
yeah.
We're saving companies 99% of their time. Mainly our customers, our clients, are lawyers.
It's so simple too,
because the lawyers put their whole forms in, and it just gives them all the information they need for whatever they're looking for. And he says it saves them 99% of time.
So is it like I remember that conversation, and is it a lot like how the iPhone you can just go to like your photos now, and you can just type in like baseball game. You can just type that in, and now it's going to pull up every photo.
Yeah, that's basically
that you were at a baseball game. Or you can even
type
type
in dogs.
You can type in
dogs.
dog. It'll show every dog. You can type in it. Like you can get even like particular to it, which is crazy. Like what did I look up the other day? I was trying to find a certain photo to send to somebody, and it's like you can get really like meticulous with it, where you can just be like, well, what I can't remember what it was, bro, but like even typing in like fine font, like, you know, on a shirt where it says like hidden in plain sight on the bottom of the shirt, if you just type in plain sight, like it will go through the photos within a split second and find anything that said plain sight or native, which is like that, you know, that one just overloads my phone though when I try to do that.
Yeah, you
one.
probably like 20,000.
So everything I take a photo of is native something,
It's
right?
got native something,
But you can break it down. You can just do like grass, park, baseball field. You can do fucking Chevrolet. Like you can just type in like Chevy, and then it's gonna find every, not vehicle. It's gonna find every Chevy that's in your like photos.
I'll take it right. I'm gonna piggyback right off you. The other day we were talking about my Howard, my little dude. I'm not sure where you're at, but you're somewhere. We were talking about Halloween costumes, and they showed me their dog about their Halloween costume, and they had a wiener dog too. And I was like, oh, I used to have one. Like, let me show you mine. And I was like, and I'm looking through photos, and I could only find the one photo of him in the hot dog costume, but I wanted to find this other photo, and I'm like, oh, I have to look through all my favorited ones. Maybe it's there. Where's it at? I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna type Halloween dog. I literally
came right the fuck up.
It was. I found that photo in about. It took me about 2 minutes. I
it's
scrolled
incredible,
down,
dude.
and it showed me all the Halloween costumes and the dogs wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
Or anytime I had typed the word dog on Facebook, that any screenshots or anything, it showed me every bit of it.
Crazy.
Howard came up right in the costume with the. I have like an Argyle sweater on him, and I have a bow tie. I have two different ones, and then I have a long tie on him. So I was trying to show him the long tie. And I bought this dope tie for Howard back in the day. This dude was selling like dog ties, just little ties at this little market.
I'm so ready for dog clothes to be sold out of here. We will make a fucking fortune.
Yes, for sure. But AI, that photo search found it, and like
it's genius, bro.
Instant.
That's the second best thing to ever happen to the iPhone that people take for granted. Like number one is that security thing where, you know, you're trying to log on to a website, and they're like, we're sending you a 9-digit code, and the last thing you want to do is leave that app and then go to your email, find that code, and then copy that code, and then go back to the app, open it up, and then put that code in. But the iPhone just does it for you. Like as soon as the email comes through, the iPhone goes, here's your code, but then you just click on it, like right there underneath or right above the keypad. And it just enters it right there for you. It's like that right there. That and the photo rendering where you can just type in something and they can find it for you. It's scary.
I think the document scanning is pretty good.
Oh, that's fire.
So the document scanning, like when you if you ever want to just put your stuff out there in general, like let's say you make a piece of art or you have a document you want to show something, you scan your phone, it digitizes it, puts it right there.
And you can break the colors down and everything,
straight up, and it's off to the races.
Yep.
So I think that's a big thing that iPhone
and bro, like honestly, like because I showed that to you, right? Is that something that you knew, or is that
document scanning I used before?
Okay, because like honestly, like that's something where I feel like if you had a 30-second video showing like, hey, you didn't know your iPhone can do this, you know what I mean? Because that scanning document thing is incredible, bro.
Incredible.
And
it's
because
amazing.
of the fact that like not only does it take a photo of what you're scanning in, but you can zoom in on it, and then, you know, if it's fine print, you can zoom in and read that fine print. Like for a lot of, like if you actually took a photo and tried zooming in on the fine print, it would most likely be a little bit blurry, but the way that the scanning document comes in, it scans it completely, and then it knows like the hard lines around the lettering. Like it's incredible how it actually works.
Does that mean that, you know, the old trick like on Microsoft Word when you're like putting a resume in anywhere, where you like write out your resume, but then you take a portion of it and you put all the important keywords that you didn't put in the main text and you make it white, so when they scan the documents it shows all the keywords hidden? Have you ever heard that before?
Never heard it.
But that was a way that like you can get a job easy by basically just making the words white. So when someone reads it, they're only seeing what you put, but really you put like self-motivated. You put all these other words in the document, because they started scanning documents to look at resumes. I don't know if you knew that, but humans don't even look at resumes now. Most of the time resumes are just scanned.
That's crazy.
By a document scanner, and then they can tell you if the person as applicant is worth it or not.
Right.
Based on whether resume. And then
read this, don't read this.
Right. But people got smart enough to where they're like, you know what? Let's invisible the text and put every important word that makes me a valuable employee hidden within the document.
That's crazy. It makes sense, though.
Yeah, I learned that in college like a long time ago. We've learned that a long time ago. But does that mean now the AI, when you scan a thing, that it can read that the person put
I'm sure it's looking
the fake text? So someone that knows that trick can be like, yo, this person literally put the every good, you know, positive word into the resume. It's just amazing how much it can pick up, and it's like a 2-second scan. It's not even like you have to like,
no, it's just
wait.
there.
You just like click it and it goes, and all of a sudden the words are legible and clear.
Millisecond, bro.
Millisecond.
Shouldn't have broke the seal earlier.
Tyrell, he broke the seal.
All right.
So let's talk.
I actually wanted to piggyback a little bit on this conversation.
Piggyback, my friend.
A little bit away from the football side of things.
That's cool.
We'll roll back.
We'll always
into
talk football. That's never going away.
We'll roll back to it. But I wanted to add in. So I've never had an iPhone, so I've never used it to the extent that
Team
everyone else
Android.
has.
Team Android.
But what I do want to say that's cool, I think everybody can do this in your Google feed about all the photos and stuff that you've saved. A cool thing that I obviously learned years ago and now can utilize is not only can you find, if you're looking for something particular, if I type in like this particular person, it should bring up all the photos and stuff like that. But like it shows you every photo, every video that you've ever taken in that location. And I think that is actually pretty cool. Snapchat has a hand into that, as well as Google, where you can find out, when I took my trip to Gatlinburg, every photo, every video that I ever took in Gatlinburg, it shows me in a file. Like I can click on them, and I can keep going until it's done. Like you're watching somebody's story, someone's Instagram story, someone's Snap story. It shows it in that same format. And I learned this, a long time ago on an Android phone. But it's interesting that is an option, along with like finding people's names. If you ever talk to a particular person, you had their phone, you had their name in your phone, and you want to search for just photos of just them, it'll pull that up. Another thing that I wanted to mention on the document side of things is how you can take in and take out like keywords to certain things. You can scan certain things, scanning like a resume into like Indeed or something like that. Man, I was on a track and I'm losing it.
We were talking scanning things,
Yeah.
Google, and how everyone can use it, even though it's an iPhone, even though it's an Android or iPhone, and your team Android.
It's a different way that it goes about, but it's done giving you the same information.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot. There was a second part to that. But anyway,
Part two.
I love that is an option as far as location. Being able to reminisce, I get my memories every couple days or every other day or whatever of different events that happen in different locations and stuff like that, or just different photos. And it'll always pop up from my Google Photos, which having a Google Pixel is very simple because I can just go to it and immediately find the photo.
Ride the Cub.
Ride the Cub.
Ride the Cub in the building.
But I think that is a cool feature that, people may not think about. Not only capturing that image, but it'll tell you exactly where it was. It'll tell you the date, the time that you took it. And I think that is a cool thing too. Just thinking about memories, thinking about somebody who likes to scrapbook or something. All right, I took this photo at this time, at this day, in this city. So that's just an interesting feature that exists. And I think that was already early signs of, AI tapping in with the location.
What did they call that when they were doing NFTs? That was because like the NFT had like a date and time of sold, the whole nine. It was the not it was like the data, like the back end, like whatever that was called.
Basic. It was the.
Not when you mint something. That's
Not
different.
when you
right?
meant it. No.
No, but it was along the same lines.
on that same
I
level.
can't remember what they called it though.
So I remember we were talking about that like with
It wasn't
the
like
Harambe.
because you're right because it was minting an NFT, but there's
There's an actual word for it. I think minting is like the aftermath. This is what happens once you do this thing. But I think
Essentially, what you're is just basically
Certifying?
the stream key of it, the original data code.
the code. It's something to do with the code.
You know,
Because the photos will tell you like almost like
it'll
like
tell
a
you exactly
code,
when it was
like
taken.
serial number. and
You know
stuff.
what? I mean, no.
what the fuck was that called? That's so crazy, bro. Like NFTs were only
Wasn't that
a
long
year
ago?
ago,
And they're not even relevant.
and they're not even relevant now.
No
Where you
one's-
can't even remember like what
No
the
one's talking about it.
like it was just the data or like the meta, like whatever the
Someone in the comments, let us know.
yeah.
But I will say what we're talking about now is so I take photos. I take photos both for my phone and obviously my camera, and my phone will tell me, like if I go through my AIM, like my AIM, which is called Android ISO multimedia page, whatever. If I go to the pictures on my iPhone, it'll tell me. Let's see here. It'll tell me that the camera that I shot the photos from.
Oh, it's time.
It'll literally.
That's dope.
Yeah, it'll tell me exactly. Like I'll go here. If I go to like DJ Photos here and I scroll up, it says, hold on. It'll even tell you what lens you used, for real.
That's really impressive.
It's crazy. So, here it is. I took a photo of a bridge in Alt Park, and it says Tuesday, May 5th, 2020, 5:08. It says Sony 6000. It was my A6000. It was my 16 millimeter. It's 7.2 millibyte.
This guy's got the actual lens on there too.
everything.
That's crazy.
It's
That's-
telling me all the details.
I mean,
of-
think about the digital aspect that camera's got to go through, because the lens itself is just a snap on. You just twist it and it locks on. So now there's something in that lens or something in the body of the camera that's telling the database that this is this type of lens that has this type of like foresight or background or whatever the F thing is, right?
yeah.
That's crazy to think, bro. That like it's getting that detailed, but it should, right? Like that's
Everything is
as
documented.
technology grows, like it should become that seamless where it knows what lens you're putting on there. It's crazy to think that that there's been this swing of the pendulum on technology. Like honestly, like one of the biggest swings in technology that no one's gotten credit for are LED lights, bro. Like who invented LED lights, and who is saving the energy grid on this? You know what I mean? To be able to for instance, the highway, being able to swap out these heavy bulbs. A lot of the times these street lights that are hanging over the highway, I physically saw it firsthand on the cut in the hill that these big light poles fell, and they were sitting in the fast lane the second lane, and the third lane coming down the Cutting Hill. And there was a car that avoided it. I didn't see the accident, but I saw the aftermath. There was a car that avoided this light pole sitting in 3 lanes. There was only 1 lane available. And so you're going right down in the Cutting the Hill. So DeVue's on the left.
I know where you're at. Yeah.
This car flew off the Cutting the Hill on the right. Like
Into the in where
yeah,
there's already been.
So the guardrail was completely broke, and the car flew off that guardrail, and it's a long drop. I don't know what happened to the person or what, you know. I never saw anything in the news about it, but it was like the fact that something like that, you know, where you've got, I mean, you look at the old street lamps from like the 80s or whatever, like it's one big pole and there's one big arm, and the arm stretches out over the middle of the highway and then holds that light bulb there. But now you've got these LEDs that just go straight up, and they're sitting right on top of the pole, which alleviates all that weight distribution. And the lights are twice as bright, and they take literally 1/10 of the energy, dude. And somebody created that within the past 20 years, and no one's gotten recognition for it.
Because aliens got all the credit.
Aliens
Bro,
get all the credit. Have you seen the size of an LED?
Come at me.
Have you seen the size of an LED? It's like this big. It's like so small, but it's like the brightest thing on Earth, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, aliens are some powerful technology entity.
We talked about
this.
Teflon before, right?
We have talked
so
about Teflon.
Teflon, they say, was a technology that was given to us from the aliens.
Makes sense.
But anyways, man, it's starting to get a little late. We've been talking a while about the same topics. I wanted to switch it up a little bit, man. Have you heard what's been going on in Springfield, Ohio?
No, but I was supposed to shoot a music video there once, and it got canceled. Unfortunately, I was going to do a battlefield with smoke grenades.
Was it out there with the big? There's like a mansion out there, like a ghost-filled mansion that people can go and like kind of tour out in Springfield. Is it Springfield? I think it's Springfield, but it's on a big acre of land.
There's a lot of land out there. I remember we weren't even renting it; it was just available, and we were gonna set up like almost like wood piles, and I was putting like colored smoke, like smoke bombs inside it, so we could look like it was like a war zone.
Oh yeah.
But we never got to it because push came to shove, whatever. But we did shoot that video in KU's parking garage. But Springfield, Ohio, let's get back to that.
Parking garages, bro, are so underutilized.
Dude, I shot a whole video inside of a parking garage.
So did the Millennium Robot, Julius. He shot a whole video. I don't know. I think it was inside the Levy's parking garage back during COVID. And it was one of the coolest videos, bro, because like all the lights were low because it was like nobody was using that part of the parking garage.
Yeah.
And for him to be able to do his robot shit right there, it looked incredible, bro. Incredible. But anyway, so Springfield, Ohio is it's only like an hour from Cincinnati, right? It's close to here, 45 minutes to an hour. And they have just recently everything going on with the government and the immigrants happening. There's been 15 to 20,000 immigrants that have moved into Springfield within the past year. And
what?
Yeah, which is crazy. And there's only 58,000 residents in Springfield now. And 15 to 20,000 of them are imports from where was it? Haiti? Is that where it was? I think it was Haiti. But anyways, so they've got immigrants that are living there, which is kind of the same thing that's going on in Colorado right now. Like if you've heard rumblings of what's happening in Colorado, I went deep into the rabbit hole, bro, because I'm like I don't want to be right or I don't want to be wrong on things like this. And so in Colorado, you've got a Venezuelan gang that is taking over a couple of apartment complexes. But when you dive into it, you really start looking into it, you start finding that you've got a landlord of basically like an apartment complex that's run down, right? But Colorado's a sanctuary city, so they're sending immigrants to Colorado right now, and they're housing them. So what happens is the government says, hey, Colorado's a sanctioned city, so we're going to bring the buses of the immigrants here, and then they can get room and board, and the government will pay for it. So then you've got people that say, yeah, that's good. I'm cool with renting my place out, for whatever amount of money. And it's the government, bro. So the government, they don't pay late. You know what I mean? They don't miss paychecks. So when somebody like this guy that owns these two big apartment complexes, and I'm 99% sure he's been a slumlord all of his life, and he's got open apartments because of the fact that he doesn't take care of his stuff. So when all these immigrants are coming in and they go, we need somewhere for these people to live, this guy goes, hey, my places are available, $1,400 a month, and they can rent them out. The government's paying that, not the immigrants, right? Not the illegal immigrants. So the government is paying these bills. So this guy's got 700 apartments available, $1,400 a pop. He's making fucking $10,000 a month. No, way more than that. He's making $100,000 a month on these apartments. And the problem is, so from what I've read, we've got other people living there now that are from Venezuela that are moving there because they're coming in legally. They don't know where to go, so they're moving in where all their relativity is. Like they know that all the Venezuelans are living here, so hey, let's move here. So they move here, and they're paying their $1,400 a month without a government assistance. So the landlord goes to the Venezuelans that the government brought in and says, hey, these guys owe money monthly for rent, and the language barrier is killing me. I can't get these guys to pay. So can you go to them and say, hey, your rent's due this month. This is how much it is. Sure, we'll do that. And now the Venezuelans, they had, 1, 2, or 3 people that were working for the landlord. But now the Venezuelans are going, hey, we've got the landlord that's asking us to go around and collect money. So now the 2 people that the landlord hired has now gotten to 7 or 8 or 9 because now the guy that's collecting now thinks he needs backup. Right, okay. So now he's going in and he's collecting money from these other Venezuelans, $1,400 a month, and it's getting to the point where it's offsetting what the landlord wanted. The landlord just wanted his money for his apartments, and now it's getting to the point where he gave the keys to these guys to help run the apartment complex, and now these guys are overrunning what the landlord has because of the fact that they're all Venezuelan and he's just getting put on the backside, which he's still a slumlord at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to the person owning the building over just the government saying, hey, let's bring these people in and let's let them live here. There's regulations, and this guy really just kind of went for the money grab. He was here going, I'll take $1,400 for every one of my apartments, and the apartments were run the fuck down. They look terrible, but he was getting fucking prime property, prime money for it because of the fact that the government, like I said, they don't skip payments. So you give somebody a place to stay, the government on the first of the month, you're getting your check. So it's a home run for the landlord until the point that he either A, has to renovate what he's doing, or B, when the government runs out of money and says, hey, we're no longer paying these guys monthly house notes, where are they going to go, bro? Like that's the true scary part of what's happening.
What other option is there?
They're not going home. They're not going to go back to Venezuela after living here for 12 months or 18 months or however long the government's giving them money. They're literally giving them money to live, and they're giving them money to eat.
Yeah.
They're giving them driver's licenses when they don't even have legal representation here in the United States. It's crazy what's happening right now.
Why do you think the? Why do you think they're?
You
want
to go down that rabbit hole because
Do you think this is a political sense, or do you think they're trying to?
It's a political run. There's no.
You think they want to bring more people in because they want us to be a open country?
No.
Or do you want to why would you let so many people in and allow them to have so much opportunity in a situation when others need the opportunity, aren't getting it because people from another land are taking the top?
Because this is an election year. That's what people don't understand. This is an election year, and we're letting 15 to 20 million immigrants in to the United States. And I understand, like, there's, if things are going awry in Mexico and you've got to get out of there, like, the United States should be a place that says, hey, you can come here and you can like not get rid of all that, but you can get away from all that. You know what I mean? But there should be proper ways to get people in here. They're doing it where they're just bringing people in by the literally the bus loads, and they're flying them in on airplanes, and they're dropping them off in major cities. They're dropping them off in Brooklyn at 2:00 in the morning, bro. 2:00 in the morning. There's 4,000 immigrants in Brooklyn in a 2-block radius. 4,000, like let alone immigrants. Just think about 4,000 people moving into Newport, Kentucky, in a 2-block radius with no police, no extra police. There's definitely police here, but no extra police, no extra anything. It's just status quo when it comes to Newport. But now we brought 4,000 people in that don't know the rules. They don't know how Newport does their shit. Just like we were saying earlier, bro. If the entire tribe went to Italy, right, and we were out there, and we didn't want to go back to the United States, and then all of a sudden Italy was like, hey, we like you guys. How about you vote for who you want to be the next Italian prime minister? There's gonna be a lot of fuckery going around because the people that are in Italy, like, hey, we've been here fucking 40 years, but I've owned this house right here on this block for 45 years, and now you're letting somebody that's come in from another country come in here and disrespect what we've been doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's and. When I say disrespect, it's not something where it's completely negative. It's outside the realm of what Italy's used to. Italy's used to cappuccinos. They're used to wine at lunch breaks. They're used to an hour and a half lunch breaks, not half-hour lunch breaks like the United States has. Like Italy's fire when it comes to like taking care of their community. But if we went in there, and if we as Americans went in there and started fucking up everything, and we started going to the bars and binge drinking it at noon, and then littering the streets at 5, and then the government said, we want these people to vote on who's going to run this country, Italy would be like, no, bro. There's not a single one of these Americans that they're going to be allowed to vote for who runs our country because they're out of towners. They're on vacation. They're in party mode. You know what I mean? That's the same way that's happening right now in Springfield. You know, Springfield, Ohio. You've got 20,000 immigrants that have moved in, and that's 1/3 of the population. And now the people that are living there, like there was a couple that they're selling their home after 45 years of living there. Because of the fact that the homeless, not the homeless, but the immigrants are sleeping out in front of their house. And they're like, look, and this lady was as sweet as can be, bro. Like, I watched the city council meeting. She's like, look, I understand that these people need a place to go, and that they are looking for, they're looking for, what do you call it, asylum. You know what I mean? They're looking for a place to be free, and I am here for them being free, but I'm not here for them disrespecting our city and not understanding our rules and dirtying our shit and killing ducks, bro. Like this is the crazy thing is like the park rangers have actually already documented that the immigrants are going to the local parks. They're catching ducks right there while everybody's having picnics, and they're cutting the heads off these ducks and leaving the head in the park, and they're bringing the body home and cooking it, which I understand. Like, you know, there's
I don't.
Well, there's
Tell me.
in different countries there's different ways of living, right? There's free range. You know what I mean? Like these are ducks, these are birds, these are animals that are here for our consumption. These are here to fulfill our.
Okay.
But
Fair.
there's rules to moving into a new country where you can't cook dog. You know what I mean? Like there's like I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying there's rules to it where it's like this is off limits. This is off limits. Like
So
when
let me-
it comes to like free range ducks
Okay.
in a national park, you can't catch the duck, cut its head off, and then try to cook it and leave the duck's head there, where these kids are playing in a park and then they're finding fucking
Dead animal.
a head of a duck, bro.
Literally.
Not a dead animal, just the head cut off where the tongue's still sticking out.
I mean that's traumatic on any front, but I want to kind of touch like who determines what needs to be done and what doesn't. I mean, whether it's a morality thing or if it's a science thing, who's determining how many ducks you can kill versus how many, like what you can kill, what you can't.
And
like,
that's-
who
and-
truly determines
And
this
that's
in our world.
That's the gray area. That's the catch-22. That's the scary part about what's going on, is because of the fact that, you know, no government wants to step on the toes of what's happening. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to do the good thing. We're trying to be the overzealous country that says, hey, if you guys are having problems in yours, we got you. You know what I mean? But the problem is they're not understanding our rules and in our way of lifestyle. And I get it. Like I understand.
Is
like,
our way of lifestyle the proper way?
it's not necessarily, you know what I mean? But there's rules and regulations to owning parks. You know what I mean? Like I understand if you're in another country and you're killing ducks and you're eating them, but if you're in a national preserve and if you're in a place that's a national park, there's rules and regulations, bro. There's a reason why it's a park. There's a reason why there's a fence around that area. There's a reason why they got park rangers. There's a reason why they pay people to make sure that area looks good and stays looking good. And the last thing they want is somebody coming in, cutting the heads off of animals
Right.
and eating them in front of children. They're not literally eating them in front of children, but they're cutting their heads off, leaving the heads there
Might as
for
well
the
be.
children to find. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about this is you can't Google this. You can't find it. If you try Googling it, you'll find a lady that's talking about her and her husband leaving Springfield after 45 years, and then you'll find recreational marijuana. Like, but you're not going to find like the rumbles of what I saw. Like I saw city council. I saw the people of Springfield going to bat for their city. Like this is the dumb shit that I watch, bro.
And where are you seeing this?
I'm watching it on the internet. I'm watching it day to day. I'm watching these things where, like, when I hear something about Springfield, I'll go into that rabbit hole. And when I go on Google and I look into what's happening, and Google doesn't show me shit, I'll go to DuckDuckGo. Do you know what DuckDuckGo is?
I do know what DuckDuckGo is.
So
They promote it just as much as they promote. I mean, they're promoting it all the time.
They need to, bro. So if you're trying to find something on Google and you can't find it, try searching DuckDuckGo.com. Once you go to DuckDuckGo.com, now search it, because you're going to find a whole nother realm of a database that Google doesn't show you. And it's insane, because you think that, especially at this day and age when Google and Yahoo were so neck and neck, you think that Yahoo would be the purveyor of let's let's let everything the realness show. But it's not. It's DuckDuckGo
Yeah.
that the ones that are bringing it out there.
Yahoo fell behind
Crazy, bro.
quickly, and Google has accelerated their worth. Well, their worth.
You know why?
Insane. They allow their employees to do all this so cool stuff.
Google it.
Google it.
Those two words.
They got a terminology.
Have you
here.
ever heard Yahoo it?
No. You hear search it, Google it,
Google it.
Google it. Yeah. Google it.
That is the biggest
ticket.
moneymaker that Google has ever fucking came out with was Google it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because no one has ever said Yahoo it. Go to Yahoo.
Yeah.
DuckDuckGo it. That sounds good. DuckDuckGo it.
It's a lot to say though.
DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo.
DDG.
But Google, it's just like
DDG.com.
rolls off the tongue.
Google it.
Google it.
It rolls off the tongue and it's familiar, bro.
It's familiar. We're a human species. We like things that are familiar.
All right, so let's talk about this. It's 8/11. So the presidential debate starts in 49 minutes. That's Trump versus Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be the World Series of debates because of the fact that Kamala Harris, she's only committed to one debate. This is Trump's not what were we talking about earlier? It was a word you used. We were sitting over there. Not an industry implant, but a government official.
A term I used.
Yeah, bro, and it's in your brain all the time because you said it. No, you said it 10 times when we were over there, and I stopped you and I said, "What did I say, man?"
We have a lot of conversations, so
for sure.
It could be. I say it. I'm in a talking head.
Nope.
Well, I use that term a lot because I think they are talking heads.
Yeah.
A career politician.
Career politician. And that's,
I don't even think it's a real job.
No, for real. And
I did a whole paper. Let the record show. Your boy Andrew Eisler did an entire paper in college that was 30 pages long on the idea of what a real job is.
Yeah.
I went real deep on it because I've always played music. And they're like, get a real job. I'm like, I'm in college right now. And they're like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to become a manager for musicians. And they're like, oh my God, what are you even doing here? Like, get a real job. And I'm like,
you know what? Like speaking on that, one of the crazy things that I've saw was like Gary Owen, right? Gary Owen is a phenomenal actor, phenomenal comedian, and he's
a real ass dude.
He's broke the barrier time and time again, right? But I've heard him say where he's on the airplane and people are like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm a comedian. And they're like, oh, that's cool. What's your day job? You know what I mean? And that's like one of those things where it's like to think that you've got something that's such rare air as a comedian, right?
Yeah.
That people, when you go, I'm a comedian, they go, okay, what's your real job? And you're like, no, that pays my bills. How crazy is that to think, bro? Because of the fact that there's so many comedians out there. There's so many people that want to do this job. And when it comes down to it, like the people that, like Gary Owen, prime example, he's been in the Army. He's been in the Navy. He's done the whole thing, but like acting the whole nine. But his go-to is comedy. And he's a stand-up comedian, and it's been paying his bills for 25 years, bro.
And the thing about Gary Owen, I will say, is when you're in the same room as him, you would never know he's a comedian or someone that even is like outwardly funny. Like, he's so quiet. And
that's how it always is.
He just walks through the store. He like every time he's here, he just walks to the store and his hands are in his pockets and he's just walking with his nice shoes. You can definitely tell that the guy makes a decent living just based on what he's wearing. You can just see it.
Carries himself.
He carries himself, and he's walking with his hands in his pants or walking around and not saying a damn word. And his managers or Brad at the time. I don't know if they're working or not, but Brad was here, and Brad does all the talking and hanging out, and Gary Owen is just walking around quiet, choosing what he wants to get, looking at the hats and everything, and like this guy's one of the funnier people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just in the store, just not saying any words, not making jokes, not being like comedic funny or like making snippets or not worried about content. He's just existing.
That's how you know you're good, bro, because he doesn't have he doesn't have to turn it on. You know what I mean? It's not like he's got to be, a
version here,
funny
version
all
here,
the time to make people entertained. You know what I mean? Like he's so good at what he does, and Brad at the same time, like Brad comes in and Brad speaks for Gary like that. They've been together, over 20 years, so it's like they know each other, like they know how to play the room and stuff. Yeah. But like when it comes to Gary, like he is so good at what he does that he's in the same rare air as Will Ferrell. Like I've heard Will Ferrell is like when you meet Will Ferrell, he's a normal guy. Like I've heard like he's just, hey, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? Like you start talking about football, he'll start talking about football. He's not trying to throw one-liners at you to make you laugh. He's in tune with what you're saying. And Gary's the same way. Like, you start talking about football with Gary, like he's
like, WHO DEY.
Bro, he's a sports center announcer. You know what I mean? Like he's there. It's like and there's nothing comedy about it. But when it comes time to perform, Gary knows. You know what I mean? Like he knows
Gary
when to
knows.
be funny. And it's like and you can tell too on somebody like him, like Gary knows that his face is a household face. You know what I mean? It's just like
familiar.
Is this motherfucker really here right now?
Yeah.
So like he kind of sits in the background. Hey. So he sits in the background and he's like, are these motherfuckers gonna notice me? And if they don't, like, no sweat off his back. But if they do notice him, he's like, hey, what's up, man? A Bengals fan? All right, let's go. You know what I mean? Like he treads water so precisely, bro. And it's so interesting to see because like when it comes to
he's got a lot of humility. His humble level.
Oh, for sure.
His humble level is the highest degree to which he's performing. Because like when you really get to know him and you hear what he's got to say on like not a comedic way, he's just a guy with opinions and doing his thing.
Right.
But then you find out he's connected to Kevin Hart. He's connected to Shannon
He's
Sharp
royalty,
now.
bro. Yeah.
Shaq. He did a thing with Shaq. So like he's doing royalty, right? Exactly. Great pivot with that. The fact that he's royalty, and when you're in the same room with him, you would have no idea that he even deserves. He not deserves. That's the wrong word. He doesn't even. You wouldn't even know that like when he walks into a room, everyone
He expects that trophy. Yeah.
Yes, everyone's anticipating the highest level of comedy that you can find on this planet Earth.
You gotta pay for it, bro.
And he walks.
You gotta pay for it. If you want to fucking see
Yeah.
Gary tell jokes, you gotta pay for it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
we didn't pay for it.
Bro.
We got to go with the shirts, with the Harambe shirts. I will say that was one of the better experiences I've had with the brand since doing the
that
damn
was
thing,
that was
one of the better experiences.
That was one of the that's a highlight in the whole native realm of things because of the fact that we're boys with Gary. Like we don't ask for much. Like we don't say, hey, post this, do that. We'll give you this if you do that. Like he sees something, he's like, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna buy that. He comes in and we end up giving it to him for free. But he wore that Harambe shirt on Thursday at the comedy club and hit me up and he was like, bro, I had so many people asking me about the Harambe shirt over the shirts that I'm selling. How many of these can you bring on Friday? Because I will sell these and sign them here. So we took the whole Harambe like merch line that we had here and we gave it to Gary and we just let him sell them at his comedy show. And so there's like a small batch of Harambe tees that are all signed by Gary Owen out there. And that's just because of the fact that Gary is that dude, man. Like he sees what's happening. What's up, baby?
How are you?
Dude, that shirt's so fire. I saw you from literally like a half mile away.
Got you. Different Hawaiian shirt every day.
He's got the Hawaiian shirt. You see it right here.
After Labor Day, it's officially in season.
Yeah, let's
Seen
go.
the movie, so I can't.
Beetlejuice,
There he is.
Beetlejuice.
The middle camera got it perfect.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. I'm
So,
not saying any more than that.
but you know, when it comes to Gary, bro, like
Hey,
there's
you too as well, man. Be
appreciate
safe,
you, bro.
Brandon.
You know, we've got somebody who is in rare air, but he lives here in the city. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
not only does he live here in the city, but he puts on for the city and relentlessly puts on for the city. You know, if he likes something that you're doing, it doesn't have to be a clothing brand. It doesn't have to be native. If Unheard Of puts something out, if J Sal puts something out, if Campaign puts something out and it's dope, like Gary Owen's gonna comment and then say something about it. And that's the type of people that we want in the city, bro. We want the type of celebrities that are putting on for Cincinnati, not going, you know, oh, I'm an LA dude. You know what I mean? Like Gary is Cincinnati through and through. Like this guy, he's got all the opportunities to do anything he wants in life in Cali and New York, anywhere he wants, bro. But like Cincy's his hometown.
Cincy is not only his hometown, but he's like
Doubles down on it, bro.
he's like an ambassador.
Yeah, he's like
an
bro,
ambassador of Cincinnati.
Yeah,
For real.
and
I did,
he's
yeah.
like, come at me.
Come at me.
Come at me with the stats. Like Cincinnati's fire. He even talks about the Cincinnati females and how fire the Cincinnati females are down here, bro.
Yeah, he does.
Which is honestly, like I gotta agree, bro. Like when I moved from Chicago to Cincy, like there was something that I noticed my freshman year of high school is like even the nerdy girls are hot. Even the girls that don't think they're cool and the girls that are cool, calm, and collect and don't want to talk to anybody, like they are beautiful fucking women, man, or beautiful girls at the time. You know, it's something where growing up in Chicago, it's all makeup, bro. It's all everybody wants to look like, you know, the black lipstick, the dark eyeliner, like this really weird looking shit. And when you come to Cincinnati, it's like I don't know what's in the water. Actually,
I don't know what's in the water.
I read an
No, you're
article.
right,
I read an article the other day that said what's in the water in Ohio because Ohio is putting out bangers, bro. Like when it comes to like athletes, musicians, actors, comedians, like Cincinnati's got something that's just putting it out there where like I should have screenshotted it, bro, because I know I saved it, but I don't know. It's going to take me a half hour to find where I saved it to.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about we talked about technology and AI looking for, different search engines. It's also there's so much content that where do you find it if it weren't for these AIs or these search engines? You can't. If you take a screenshot, yeah, you might be able to keep track of your screenshot and whatever, but where do you find it? Where do you find it, Tyrell? Where do you find all this internet? When you take a bunch of photos, where do you find it?
Listen, it is hard to keep up with things. Being a person that has ADHD, I'm going to think about a million different things, and I'm going to try to figure out where that one thing was that I needed. Like, you know, earlier when I was trying to remember what I was trying to say and completely ghost on it. But it's finding your collection that matters the most to you, and you're going to keep it close to home. And I love that we are at a point where like these camera phones are doing so well. You can print a picture from your phone off and then you have it forever, you know, if that's what you want to do with it. So it's just, I don't know, keeping a hold of your favorites so you don't lose them. And whatever you don't need, you probably should get rid of, but most people don't.
Why do you think people don't get rid of it?
I think it's the hassle. I think it's just like you realize that you've taken so many photos, even if it's from a friend that you're no longer friends with or from a past relationship or something like that. It's just being the diligent person going in and hitting delete on all these things. I don't know. Maybe we'll get to a point where that will become simple. You'll just think it, and then your phone will just do it, or your computer will just do it, or your watch or whatever device that you have with AI's technology will just do whatever it is you need it to do. So maybe that's a thing that's coming. But I for one have an insane amount of photos that I definitely know half of them I'm not going to look at again. So, going back through and deleting, I deleted some today, probably like less than 50. I don't know. But again, finding your favorites, keeping your favorites, holding on to them, and, tossing the rest if that's what you feel so gladly to do, I guess. Keeping everything else in the cloud or whatever it is you want to do.
All right, let's talk about the cloud for a little bit now that you brought that up. Do you think the cloud is a long-term solution / secure place for all of our stuff to be? Do you think the maintainment of the cloud, the quote-unquote cloud, is sustainable for us as a society? Because everything goes into the cloud now at this point. Our phones are only really keeping so much memory. Like, you might take 1,000 photos, but none of them actually take up any storage. None of them take up any storage on the phone. It goes to the cloud. Do you think the cloud is a sustainable thing? Because it's got to be maintained by a company with enough processing power and an actual, memory beacons, if you will, where they're holding all the information. Do you think it's sustainable, or do you think that at some point the cloud's going to be compromised and all of our information and data and photos and all the stuff that we save and we keep so close to our hearts disappears? Because when Facebook runs into issues and all your photos aren't showing up on Facebook, that's every memory you've got gone because Facebook is down. What are your thoughts on how that's being handled as a society with social media in the forefront of our minds?
I would say yes and no. I'm a bit biased against one side of it versus the other. I would say yes. Okay. I would say yes in the sense that, we have this ability to think, oh, I don't need to search for it right now because it's in the cloud, because once you take something, once you write something, once you put something down, internet basis, that it's there forever and people can find a way to find it. I think no, because the sense of uncertainty that there's a chance that you could possibly lose something and never have it again if you only rely on it just being in the cloud. I think if you're not willing to back up any information that you keep so dear to you, then maybe it's not that important to you in that moment. So I don't know. It's a complicated thing. I don't know how.
I think the cloud is complicated because
I just think data in general, not just so much the cloud, like another side of it or another version of the external hard drive that you could have or whatever. I just think, like I said, if you're willing to keep up with things, if you're willing to hold something so near and dear, that's going to be something you have outside of technology. You're going to have that physical photo. You're going to have that actual picture, that documentation, whatever. Other than that, to me personally, I don't think all of those things are that important if you're not willing to go the extra step in doing that. Just my personal opinion.
When it comes to the cloud, man, they I still don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like I'm paying the monthly fees and I'm trying to upload everything to the cloud where, ideally, I bought something maybe 9 to 10 years ago. It was called an Apple capsule. So this was after I got my ear bit off, my left eye detached. She stole my computer as well. My computer had all my native logos on it. So like even the original Native Ohio logo. So when she stole my computer, I had zero. I had no logos. Everything that I ever worked for was completely gone. And
that's tragic.
It was almost more heartbreaking than losing my eye. It was almost more heartbreaking than losing my Red October Kanye's. Like there was a lot of fucked up things that happened in that scenario. But so after that happened, I bought something called an Apple time capsule. And it's basically like a router in your house. So like you know how you've got like, you know, I've got a TP Link there. We've got I don't know what it is here. It's just whatever Cincinnati Bell has, but it's like a Wi-Fi extender pretty much. But with this Apple time capsule, you can basically I can save things to my computer and then send them to the Apple time capsule. So this was before the iCloud. So it was basically like I could send all my images and designs to a hard drive in my house, and this hard drive is going to hold everything, which was amazing, right? Because it's like I knew where it was. If anything ever happened, if internet goes down, if power goes out, if the whole grid goes fucked, like I've got the hard drive right here in my living room where I can pull all that data from. But they went seamlessly from having this Apple time capsule to doing, you know, Apple iCloud. So now it's like you don't even need to have this $400 piece of equipment in your house because now it gets all sent to the cloud. But where does it go from there? You know what I mean? Like,
where does it go?
It's a great. If you know how to use it, which, you know, I should know how to use it. I'm very good with Apple. I've been using Apple for a long time. Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, like I've gotten good with all of it. But when it comes to the iCloud, bro, I'm still so confused because it's like, you know, I'm always worried, like is my stuff going to be deleted? Is it going to be missing? Like if I lose this phone, am I going to still have contact to the cloud to get the information? If I buy a new phone, am I still going to be able to have link to the iCloud to pull everything that I've done in the past 15 years off of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was saying to Tyrell is that I think that iCloud is, I didn't really give my opinion on everything, but I think the iCloud ultimately is a little what's the word I want to use here? A little, I don't want to say alarming, but a little nerve-wracking, I guess you could say, because if the cloud were to get compromised and someone would do a hard flash delete on everything and all iClouds, I'm not saying that they've got like an eject button where everything's deleted kind of a thing, but with the proper, you know, software or technology smarts where you could get in, like a hacker, if you will, you get into the system and you're able to wipe clean right then everyone's iCloud, all their hard work.
Everybody. In one foul swoop.
That would not only create the most amount of lawsuits we've ever seen in the history of mankind.
Well,
it would create chaos because I have so important pictures of Charlie on my phone, bro. If I were to lose them, it's the only thing I care about. I literally, like, bro, if I lose my phone, I can go through our text conversation. I can pick everything out of Nate if I need. You know what I mean? I can literally go to our text conversation. I can see the lab. I can get everything I need to show somebody.
Right.
But I can't go to our text conversation and find all photos of Charlie.
Right. Yeah.
It's only there. And if someone were to go in there and delete all that, I'd lose my mind. And I can only imagine everyone that maybe have lost a child or something that they cannot get back.
Right.
And that cloud holds all that value, and all it takes is a snap of a high-end hacker.
Yep. And this is a great transition.
Scary,
we got about 20 minutes left, and I want to show you.
Charlie.
I want to show you.
She's looking for donations for a walkathon.
That girl don't need no more donations, bro. That
well,
girl,
she's not getting them. Her school's getting them.
I'm just joking. She's going to be at the top of the food chain when she brings the dollars in, they're going to be like,
how did you do this?
How'd you do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So with transitioning from the iCloud to the last topic.
What's the last topic?
I want to play this
Okay.
because this is how the presidential nominee thinks of the iCloud. Okay, so
Okay.
the biggest job in the world, being the president of the United States,
Yeah.
this is what they think. This is they think how the iCloud works. You ready?
This is okay. Yeah.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? Up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? It's no longer in a physical place.
She's wrong. She's fucking wrong. It's no longer in a physical place, bro.
It's a database.
There's a database that has
Physical.
everybody's shit right there.
Yeah, it's on just just computers that are sitting in a gigantic room.
That's
With a bunch of cables that are-
that's your president nominee. So, we've got 20 minutes left,
Thoughts on
and
that?
and you know what, like. All right, so for everybody that's watching, the last thing we ever want to do is talk politics, but the debate is coming on in 20 minutes.
I would say it's like the middle.
It's the last thing that I want to talk about. It's
On a personal level?
It's the last thing I want to talk about, for sure.
It's the first thing that I want to talk about when I get to work. It's the last thing that I want to talk about
You come in to bust it
to
out.
human beings, right? Because it's like what's going on in the world right now is so crazy, bro. Like who's left, who's right, who's wrong. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that we can do is either put all of our chips on A or put our chips on B. There's no other option. You know what I mean?
You're
And that's
for or against.
you're either for or you're against, and that's
Either for
crazy.
or
And
against,
that's
yeah.
crazy to think, bro. At this day and age, with there he is. At this day and age, we've got all these smart, intellectual people on the planet, and we're only allowed to choose from two of them, and one of them wasn't even elected. One of them was put there as a stage prop. So it's
Stage
like,
prop.
how do we, let's just start here.
Okay, start here.
I kind of feel like I know how both of you stand on the situation. So I'm gonna start with you, Andrew, because you've got like a non-biased opinion. You've been on both sides of the fence. You don't like Trump. You do like Trump. You see the positives. You see the negatives. So
through
when it
the
comes to the
smoke.
debate tonight, it starts in 20
I'm
minutes.
purple. I can't believe
You're
I
purple, yeah.
I get-
Which is how probably 70% of the United States feels right now.
Yeah.
Like they're just purple. Like they don't like everything red's doing. They don't like everything blue's doing. Like they just want to be in the middle. They just want to be cool. Like why can't we just be cool and all just chill out?
purple. Man, the fact that purple has been a conversation since I was in high school, and it wasn't even like a conversation thing. Where that whole thing, I'm definitely in the middle for sure. But
Split it.
but financial-
Tell the story within a minute and 30 seconds. Tell the purple story.
oh yeah, so in high school we were pretty young. We were like sophomores ish, and they were kind of talking politics and how we were like the government's like checks and balances and whatever. And this guy that was in my class, John Collins, and he was like sitting there, and we were all like, "You got to be red or you got to be green. You got to be red or you got to be green, or red or green, red or blue, red colors, all these colors, red or blue." And people were like, "Oh, why can't you be green? Why can't you be blue? Why can't you be yellow? Why can't you be this?" And they're like, "No, it's just red and blue. Those are the two sides." And this guy that I wasn't necessarily friends with, he was in my classes and whatever. He says, "Why can't I just be purple?" And I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting right next to him.
Red
and
and blue makes purple.
Right, and I didn't really think about it. I was like, He's like, why can't I just be in the middle and be purple? Who says I can't be purple? You guys, and he's like kind of a louder guy, and he like was annoyed about it in my personal opinion. And he's like, I want to be purple. I'm purple, and he like pushes away, and he's like, I'm purple, and he does one of these. He does one of these. I'm purple, and like kind of obnoxious about it. But I'm sitting next to him like thinking like, bro, you make
kind of makes sense.
You make a great point.
Yeah.
And I didn't like. He wasn't my favorite guy in the world, but I was like, dude, I guess I'm purple. And I'm like, it was like a weird, but I'm like, I guess I agree with you, because he would say some ridiculous shit in class, like just attention seeking. But he said, I'm purple, and he stepped back to the teacher. I'm done.
Have you talked to this guy? Have you seen what he's doing in the past fucking 6 months?
I have no idea since high school in 2007.
Do you remember his name?
Jonathan Collins.
I was gonna say you don't have to say it, but we should Google him and see where he's at in his
I don't
head
know.
right now.
But when he said purple and he made a joke about it, I was like, I'm purple. I'm purple. I don't care either way. I'm going on the and like it kind of opened my eyes up in that little moment. I was like, why can't I just sit in the middle?
You don't have to be, yeah.
You don't have to be anything. And then at that point, I was like, you know what? I don't have to be anything. And it kind of framed how I went about life through the next, now I'm here at 36 and I still consider myself purple, all because of a small conversation in high school, or like sophomore year,
right,
of me being annoyed by when he would say stuff. Because like you can always tell when someone's trying to grab attention in the class at high school,
for
whatever.
sure.
And I would just be like, man, dude, like we get it, you want to get attention, like dude, I'm putting my head down. I'd sleep a lot. And high school was kind of part of my MO.
But the smart person like analyzes what he said and like breaks it down and says, hey, like I understand he was being comedic about it, but there's kind of truth behind this. You know what I mean?
And like, because at the time, and like in real talk, like as much as like appreciating now, man, like I really have taken that in stride. But they were kind of like in high school cornering us as students.
Oh,
like,
yeah, bro.
They're literally like, you
red
choose
blue.
red or you choose blue. You get on one side of the coin, you get on the other side of the coin, you vote that way, you live that way, and that's that. And I was like, man, like I don't like how they're doing this. Like, who I don't really care who's in politics or whatever. Like, I'm not even good at this. Like, I much rather be playing music than rather talk about politics. I'm here for Green Day. Let's talk about getting away from the government or whatever. And then when he says, why can't I just be purple? I'm going to be purple. I'm not going to be either one. I'm purple. And I look at him, I'm like, what? Oh, what a thought process. I can be purple. And it just kind of like, it leveled it with everything with me. Yeah, you can be neutral, of course, but you can also have a little bit of both. You can be a little bit of blue. You can be a little bit of red. You can be a little bit of any color, I guess, in that case. Independent, green or whatever color you want to consider independent. But yeah, it was just a really thought-provoking moment in my young mental process, because he just made a joke. He was making a joke of the whole situation, because they were literally trying to pin students against each other at like 15 years old or 14 years old before you even understand what a politician is.
Right.
You don't even know. They're like, all right, you're red or blue. What are your parents at home? It's probably what you're going to end up being. And that's kind of the trajectory. If your parents are falling a certain way, you're hearing that growing up. Like, we don't believe in this. We don't believe in this and this. And then when you get older, you're like, I can think for myself. You could the whole time, but
I mean, I don't think that way though. I feel like
I think a lot of America does though.
I feel like growing up, you want to like being a teenager, being a young adult, like Democrat. It's like, Republican is like the dad that tells you no. You know what I mean? Like the Republicans, the person that says, okay, you want $1 million car? How are you going to get it? You know what I mean? And the Democrats are like, you want $1 million car? Fucking here you go. Go buy it. And Republicans are like, how are you going to pay for it? You know what I mean? Like 18 to 24, they're like, fuck you. I want the car.
Get a lot of credit.
I want the car. I'm going to get the car. But the Republican side is like, I get it. You can get the car. How are you going to maintain the car?
How are you going to maintain the car?
You know
how
what
are
I
you
mean?
going to get past payment 3?
Yeah. 100%, bro.
Yeah.
And
because you might have enough money for the first two payments.
bro, like growing up, like I I always looked at Republicans as like the stern people that just told you how it is and that you didn't like it. And
The realists.
And the Democrats were the ones that were the
dreamers.
outsiders, the dreamers, and all this stuff. But as you get older, it's like you start looking at everything going on, and you're going, no, the Republicans are right. Like, how the fuck are you going to pay for this? You can't just say that we're going to give $25,000 to every person who wants to buy a new home, and expect that money just to come out of thin air. Where's that money coming from? Like, Democrats are like, fuck yeah, we'll give you $25,000 every time you want to buy if you want to buy a new home, we'll give you $25,000 for the down payment. But Republicans are like, where are you getting that money from? Because the person that owns that home they're going to need that 25 grand. You know what I mean? Like, if I sold my house right now and the Democrats said, hey, we're going to give you guys $25,000 towards the down payment of a house. Where's the money coming from? When it comes down to paying me for my property and what I've held on to, where's that $25,000 coming from? Because there's 1,000 other people in Kentucky that are trying to do the same thing. So that's, $2.5 million. And there's people in other states that are trying to do the same thing. So, like, where's all this money coming from, and who's paying for it? You know what I mean? Is the government paying for it? Is it like where? At the end of the day, the person selling the house is getting that money, but where's it coming from? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I believe we are printing the amount of money to where everyone can pay for everything all the time. So they're printing enough money, and money is, you can physically hold money, but they can literally copy and paste money on a digital screen and give an endless amount of credit.
Yeah, and it does it to the economy.
Exactly.
So if you just keep printing money, and if you just keep giving it out to people to appease them, you know what I mean? It's not like it's a life or death situation. Like they're giving money out, saying, "Hey, you want to buy a new house? We'll give you 25 grand."
It's not real.
You know what I mean? But that's the thing,
That's the
bro.
problem.
It's like that's the problem.
It's
is they
easy to just facade it, because like at the end of the day, if you were to go, okay, so I recently made Beyond the Stage an LLC, okay, which is awesome.
super dope.
It's pretty dope to actually create something from nothing, and
Small business owner.
Yes. I got two now. We got here and there, and it's a great feeling. And but regardless, I go through a certain bank, and that bank is already kind of conversating about me getting a line of credit through a credit card, which is really exciting. We pay for equipment. We'll be frivolous, and we're very smart about it. I'm very conservative on financial, but they're willing to give us money that isn't even there right now. It's not even there. It's not there. There's no one that's expecting me to get the card or get the credit line or whatever the case may be. There's no one expecting.
You got nothing to show.
Nothing to show, but they're willing to give the money because we're a new business, and they're really trying, like, the government really wants new businesses to happen, I guess, is what the case is. The banks do. They want to give the money out. So where's that money?
They've got money to give.
They got money to give. So why are they going to give it to someone with me? And, like, my credit's okay, and, like, my personal finances are okay, but they're willing to give it regardless of what I'm doing.
If you go belly up, if you can't pay, then somebody comes in and strikes it for you where you've got to pay. You know what I mean? And they'll attack your line of credit. They'll attack your house.
They'll attack my Social Security. They'll attack.
You know what I mean? You own a house, so they'll come after that. You know what I mean?
They'll come after all my assets.
Assets.
Yes, and I'm well aware of that. But they're not going to give me enough credit at this point for me to be scared.
100%.
They're gonna go to that level of credit when we're 5 years in.
They're giving you breadcrumbs right now,
and find out if we pop through or we fail, whatever. The beauty of what we're doing is journalism, so it's just a never-ending thing. We don't worry about how many clothes we have to sell. We're looking for ad space and looking for people to whatever.
Day to day.
Yeah. And that's just how it works, and it's gonna maintain it is. The credit line will only be going towards buying a GoPro to help facilitate media, whatever. But if you're going on another level,
you can use ours. Anytime you want, bro. Anytime you want to use ours to make it happen.
Is available.
Yeah, absolutely. But my point is, it's going to go towards equipment. where let's say you're starting a car dealership where you have to front for cars, you have to go this, where you
Overhead.
where you have to have the overhead, a bar, where you have to buy all the alcohol. They're hoping, probably low key, that your bar don't work out.
Of course, bro.
Your bar don't work out. Your car dealership doesn't work out, and all of a sudden you're in the hole, and now they can take your house.
Yeah,
they can take your
we
assets.
get to repo every car that you got in the house.
And the house. And you still have to make the payments.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have to make the payments to us for the loan that we gave you, because it started out as $10,000. Not the end of the world. It's a lot of money. It's a game changing amount of money if you're broke. But if you've got money, how easy is it? If you're a person that's sitting on $100,000, giving someone 10% is not the end of the world.
Right.
But when they start giving you out the $50,000 or the 25 to 50, and they start giving you the bigger loans because you've actually made headway, then economy crash just like we're doing now. Then they're like, all right, now we're in the 100,000, like wherever you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're cashing in. They're not worried about the 10,000. They're
Right.
trying to give the breadcrumbs, like you just said. But once you get to that next tier of business level, they're hoping something happens in this shift, and then they get to take all your stuff. They get to take whatever they want, and you have to still pay it back, and you still have to do all the process, and you're not really, if anything, to show because your business went under, bankruptcy,
Mm-hmm.
all the process. So money, though, is real, and we can hold physical dollar bills. They can give you money, and literally with a credit line, you can take cash out. It's not like you're just taking just digital. You can take physical bills out.
Right.
And there's a level of fear, I think, that they can institute in people and they can create. And this fake money that I speak on, the money it's not real, it's just digital. Because, majority of the money is digital.
Mm-hmm.
There's way more money digital than there is physical. We know that.
Right.
And we're noticing from the store less and less money's coming in every single week. The physical dollars are dwindling.
We're only getting about 10% money from the past, like maybe 6 months. It's at if we do $2,000 that week, it's only $200 in cash.
If that.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
If that, because it's crazy. Because let's think about this. You go out. How many places you go? Credit card only. We just need a credit card. Now you'll see cash only on occasion, but usually cash only is small business. Small
Small business.
Small situation where they just need to take cash. They're only giving out maybe beer and then $5, $10.
That's typically like a
fairs.
A fair.
And stuff like that. Yeah. Well, everywhere else, we don't even take cash. They're like, we don't even take. You need to have your card, or you need to be able to do that. We offer a tip option, but it has to be all card.
I got a conspiracy on that. I think it's because of this. What was the math that they were giving these kids fucking 4 years ago? Common Core math, bro. That Common Core math fucked Aslan's life up. I was teaching her Common Core math, and I'm learning as she's learning, and I'm going through the process. And Common Core math is nothing to do with the mind. It has it's you can be brain dead and do Common Core math, because what it does is it just breaks it down, where you just keep breaking the thing down, and you got a piece of paper that has 11 fucking different numbers on it, right? But you're trying to do this Common Core math, and you're like, wait a minute, the fucking answer was right here. You know what I mean? Like fucking 80 times 2 is 160. Like, why do we have to break it all the way down to figure out what 80 times 2 is when it's right the fuck here? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to think that Common Core math just fucked everybody up. But I physically saw it, bro. Like, I had a child that was in grade school trying to learn Common Core math, and I'm trying to teach her, and I'm like, this is not the way to how is she? And as I'm learning it, I'm going, how is she ever going to be able to understand if somebody has $10.73? How is she going to know what the change is on this with Common Core math? Like, she's not going to know that's 27 cents change. She's going to have to take out a phone or a piece of paper and break this down to the point where it's finally okay. Here's your 27 cents, and it's like
Yeah.
that is not where we should be going as a society, bro. Like it's
so you get rid of the paper and the coins, so then everything's digital. So then you just get your receipt.
But here's the
your
thing.
email.
But
the digital's scary because I don't need.
No, go for it, bro.
I-
Because I wasn't. That's not what I'm going for. I'm not going for taking the dollar away.
Neither.
Neither. I'm here for the kids knowing how to. If somebody gave you $1 and the item was 66 cents, how quickly can that kid know that there's 34 cents you need to give back? It's not easy for a fucking 15-year-old kid to know that there's 34 cents you need to give back, which is the easiest fucking math on the planet, bro. 100 minus fucking 66 is fucking 34.
Yeah, you just remove it. Yeah. I was gonna say even further than that. Going the all digital route. Now, if it is the Bitcoin model where it is just a centralized
We
system.
got 4 minutes for.
We're gonna wrap this up. But if it goes to Bitcoin model where it is just a centralized system where it's an international thing where you're not really having to worry about.
Again, that's going to be an issue.
It's going to be an issue
because you need to understand math.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm actually gonna kind of go against
Yeah,
that. I'm
no,
gonna go against it. But I do like the idea of a centralized thing because we talk about that, like rather going to just $1 or euro or whatever. It's a world system,
a one world government like George Bush and the Clintons were talking about.
right? But if you get down to it, no matter how good our protection is when it comes down to it, if you have an all digital system, how long until someone is able to use AI or some kind of hacking to micro change their way of life? So then
24 hours.
Exactly. So then you have to monitor, then you have to create a security system where you're monitoring 24 hours, 25/8, not 24/7. We're talking every hour of every day of every extra second. Someone's like, if I can just add $1,000 to my bank account, no one's going to pay attention.
Well,
and then you go over time. Then you take from and you can remove and incrementals. We're talking incrementals. If you've ever seen Office Space, where they basically take the pennies on a constant.
I've been telling you to watch that movie, bro. What'd I say? What'd I tell you, bro? I told you fucking last week. I was like, you gotta watch this movie, dude. Like, Office Space is fucking amazing, dude. It is a catalyst in so many fucking in so many lives because of the fact that it's got there's levels to this comedy, bro. And it's when it comes down to Mike Judd, right? He did what the same guy did Office Space. What did he do?
He does a lot.
Like this,
Judd's done everything.
Is it Beavis and Butthead or is it the other stuff?
He did a lot. He's done a lot of stuff. He's a part
Mike
of
Joe. Like it was either Beavis and Butthead or another like fucking Simpsons or something like the guy.
King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead. All right, so that's the guy.
Spy Kids.
But it's I mean, you got really passionate about something that I was kind of like leaning into because like in my mind, like if you can incrementally cut down things and it's not like you're dealing with one person doing this.
Right.
You're dealing with like think 10 million people
Macro scale.
trying to do it, and you have to have a security. So you have 10 million people trying to steal from the system. That means you have to have 3 for everyone. So that's 30 million people trying to.
So who's to stop the person that is stopping other people and putting money into his bank account?
Well, I think it's going to have to come down to AI kind of cyber securing things. But
like, oh,
when
wait,
it comes
why
down,
did this number move
yeah,
over
why
here?
we're looking for a spike and we're looking for a change. But really, what does that mean? So. Like, what happens if someone gets a gigantic pay raise?
No one's
it
gonna
has
get
nothing to do
themselves.
with AI, and all of a sudden let's say our brand, let's say Native brand, for whatever reason, it finds an opportunity for us to become a multi-billion-dollar company. We're talking B, not like M, regardless of what we are worth at this time. Let's say we become a billion-dollar brand, and $100 million is deposited into our account. What is to say that's legit and what isn't? they're going to have to backlog wherever that came from. Where is the conversation happening? Where is that happening? And all those transactions that are happening consecutively, consistently, and constantly through the course of the whole world, not just the United States. We're talking the international, deep economic status. How do you maintain that? How do you maintain that? What there's no way to really keep track of that. So when you're talking about why don't they just do that? You're of just the actual digital currency, not just physical and digital, but the digital. How are you going to maintain that on a societal level, on a protection format? Now you can do that anyways, but the beauty of a physical now that we have physical, and we're going to continue to have physical, you've got this idea that we're actually earning the physical meal. We're going to take the money out physically. If you go all digital, you're never going to be able to take physical out. It's going to be digital. You're going to be a card all day. Your wallet's not going to be a wallet anymore. I think wallets will go away. It'll go in. It'll go. Everything will be scanned through phones. We won't have even physical cards anymore. Things will change in that realm, which is part of society. It's going
to in your arm or something.
But then what level of security happens from then? And yeah, we're like, oh, it's security. It's not going to affect me. At the end of the day, it's going to affect everybody.
If someone knows that there's an off switch, they're going to try to find it.
Yes.
I'm by the way, I'm for keeping physical money, but I wasn't trying to make a stand on digital.
But
currency.
Office Space does teach us a lot, because Office Space taught us that they're able to.
I think there's a reason all these movies were made, man.
I do think so as well. I think there's a reason.
This was a very intentional thing that happened in the course of our history for a lot of things to be put in our face on purpose, and certain people will pay attention and certain people won't. But yeah, my tangent wasn't to say that, oh, we should get rid of physical money. I think we should all have physical money. I would rather have an actual physical safe that I can access only, not put my money in a bank account. That's just my personal opinion.
So what happens to personal safes when you go all digital?
I don't want to go all digital. That's the thing. I want to have physical
money. But do you
money.
think that the chances of us going all digital is going to happen?
I think it's possible. I think the city seems like they're leaning towards forcing an all digital system. I don't think it should happen. No, I think people should have currency in their hands, 1,000%. And I think people should be able to protect it the way they see fit. I don't have an actual bank account, so I would put my money somewhere that I believe is fully safe, and I would continue to do that.
And why don't you have a physical bank account? What is the reason behind that? I have two of them, so I go with the bank system, but I also have Cash App, and I also have I also have Venmo, and I have the other systems, PayPal. But why because we've talked about this before, why wouldn't you have a physical bank account? What's your thoughts?
I've gone through situations where things have happened that caused me to look at other avenues, and those things have never been fixed. So it wasn't a personal choice of, oh no, F banks and stuff like that. I think they're useful.
They hold money.
They
hold money. They're not gonna we're not at the point where we're worried about I got an identity hack thing at one point years ago where money was all because of this, and money went missing, and I had a whole issue, whatever. But that is an anomaly of a situation that I dealt with personally on my experience. But at the end of the day, when you go to bed and your bank account shows, let's say, $100, $1,000, you wake up, your bank account's going to show $1,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you would hope. And there are things that happen,
which is anomalies. But on a regular basis, it's going to be there.
I've gone through a couple situations where things have happened and it affected me, so where I differed to a different option. I would like to have both. I would like to have my own personal safe that I can put important documents in outside of just money, and I would like to have an account that I would use on a transactional basis. If I have this money that's sitting in here for a particular amount of time, I would take it and I would use it at that moment. That's it. That's the only reason that I would want to personally have a bank account. Other than that, the other digital formats that we have, like Cash App and Venmo and stuff like that, they're useful for exchanging money to particular people. I'm not sending it to someone across the country. I'm sending it to a person that's right in front of my face. So I think. Do
you feel Cash App is more secure than your traditional bank?
Yes and no. I think it's benefited me better in the few years that I've used it consistently than the short amount of time that I had a bank account. Do I think it's fully secure for everyone in the world? No, because my Cash App has been compromised as well. It just happens.
So you've been compromised on multiple occasions.
Yes, every format that I've had, minus the one credit union that I've had access to, has been compromised in some way, shape, or form. PayPal didn't work out. Cash App, issues. The bank account that I had, issues. All these things. And they proved all of these things happening, and it wasn't resolved in a positive manner for me. So I pivoted and moved the way I did, and I'm still currently on that system. Eventually, I want to go back to using an actual bank account. I have the Kimba bank account access.
So credit union.
Yeah, I have that. That's the only thing that
Which
I have.
a lot of
that's
people
in me.
believe credit unions are the way to go.
Oh, no, for sure.
A lot of people believe credit unions are stronger than any form of banking system
generally
we
think
have,
it's
so.
better just because of the whole setup process of getting it and everything. Someone told me that I could leave the country and come back and still have access to it. Like, that blew my mind. That was the one thing that sold me. The fact that there are people in other countries that come to America and use our credit unions whenever they see fit. I think that's interesting. I didn't know that that was a thing that was possible. So that sold me 100%.
I on my car that I have, I actually got the loan through the car through a credit union, which so I use credit unions. I have available. I'm a part of. Grew up in a family that works for Delta, and Delta has a credit union. Anyone a part of that, whether you're a kin of someone that works there or you work there, you get your own credit union account. Just part of their.
How's the car rolling?
Family.
Is it still in limp mode or is it out of limp mode?
No, it's actually it repaired itself, which is a
so
strange thing.
it's been good since like 2 weeks ago.
I have not had one moment of.
What was it, VOA that you?
Well, I've been having issues since probably about April. It started having big issues with my control, my transmission control module. But something happened. Jay had an idea about the part maybe drying due. It would maybe had been damp through the spring or whatever, and like maybe the wires were, condensation,
Frayed because they're wet,
something.
yeah.
Fraying because of condensation, but. Maybe the heat over time has really fixed it, or maybe the part was just a little bit like out of thing, and then like it hit a bump and it fell in. But like
Put back.
I have not had anything. It's the strangest thing. Cars don't. They're machines. They don't fix themselves. They're not humans. When you get a cut, you heal. It doesn't really work that way with vehicles, but in this case. It's definitely got to be computer.
Water damage.
Something computer.
100%. If it fixes itself, it's water damage.
But
10 times out of 10.
But here's the thing. Tyrell's been in the car. I had a few friends. When you were to shift my car before, when it was having issues, I went from park, which it wouldn't even show the P symbol, to drive. It drops you. Jumps and drops you, like a physical feeling. It's not like it was like just happening electronically.
Still,
it physically would move. And now, park to drive,
But the
smooth like you'd have any car.
It was delayed. Like it was.
No. I'm talking when as I would shift it, my car would
it'd be like somebody.
I don't know how to
was lifting
explain
his
it.
car,
You can't see it in
for
this, but
a
it
split
would,
second.
it would jump, and then I'd be in drive, and it wouldn't show drive, but my car I could see the actual the stick shift would show drive, and I would drive, and it would be in limp mode. It would slowly progress.
Definitely
but now,
mechanical, yeah.
Yeah, definitely mechanical, but it physically would move. It wasn't like we were just
It was weird.
electronics. The lights are going off and on. It would bounce.
I mean, cars.
It's wild. It's wild.
If you think about how a car works, bro, you've got different gears, and if you're dropping into a different gear, the car is gonna set into that gear. But if the computer doesn't know that it's doing it, the computer is fucking offset. That sounds completely like water damage.
But
to
I was gonna say the way he said that with the jump, maybe with all the humidity and the moisture and stuff like that, it dried it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know. I'm not a professional.
I don't know
or
anything. Yeah,
but I think that he might have been onto something if it had been so hot for so long. We had 90-degree days for months.
I mean,
dude.
you just have to understand how computer systems work. If there was water on this computer right here, you know what I mean? If there was water damage on this, it would take more than a split second to turn something on.
And it would work perfect for a second, and
You
then
know
it would
what I mean?
work, and it would frizzle out.
Yeah.
Whenever that.
Yeah,
whenever
because
receptor was
electricity's trying to
issued.
get to it, and it's being
Yeah.
dulled out by the water.
But that
But
could-
it was just the fact that it would like literally you could like when you would go from park to drive. I mean, I felt like my car every time I would shift,
It
it was
would, like,
hurting.
drop
It was
down.
hurting my car.
Yeah.
Like I felt my car going through pain.
I mean, it's definitely a transmission issue.
Yeah, because it's a controlled transmission control module, which is what AutoZone ultimately told me when I did the little scanner. But like the check engine light's no longer on. I mean, it's like the car's running like it walked out of the shop. I mean, like walked out not a shop, walked out of the dealership.
Incredible.
You know what I mean? And it's
Perfect.
amazing.
Let's
I
roll.
couldn't believe it. I was in Michael's craft store parking lot, and I just put it in drive and went straight, and the car like pulled me, and I was like
It was-
before
Yeah.
I would have to press it.
All
It
right,
was like
all right,
crazy.
all right, Tyrell, we got to get going, man.
Yeah.
Who do you have? You got Trump or Harris tonight?
Oh,
who's
the
going to win the debate?
debates.
It's on right now. We got to get going.
Who actually wins debate?
I think.
Who do you hope wins?
I think overall appeal, Trump is probably going to win the debate. I would think that Harris is going to handle it better than Biden did because she's going to speak and it's going to make
Fluently?
sense for people. Yeah,
She's going to
I think
remember her
that's-
words.
Yeah, but I think
Her
overall
Instagram.
Trump is
Who do
probably
you
gonna win.
who do you want to win, bro? Like, because, I don't want you to feel like you're against the grain because, I'm voting Trump. Like, I want to know your honest opinion. This is something this is a perfect juxtaposition because we've got three guys here, three totally different opinions. You know what I mean? And it's just something where it all depends on what I'm downloading on the internet. Like from what I see on the internet and from what you see on the internet is completely different. You know what I mean? Like if you got a bunch of gay friends, you might be seeing something completely different than what I'm seeing. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, how do you perceive the situation where who do you want to win right now? Like, you know what I mean? Who do you want to win, bro?
Honestly, I would want Harris to win. But with that being said, I think after gathering information over time, I feel like I would want to lean more towards the side of purple because it's not about just, oh, no, F Trump and anything else. I generally haven't, my personal, acquired enough information about anybody to really give a full opinion. It's generally just, I just want everybody to be okay, man. I want people to be able to run their businesses. I want people to be able to pay their bills.
That's why-
man. That's what I want.
That's
It's not
why-
about left or right, man. I want people to be happy. I want people to be successful.
What
That's
are they
I want.
happiest with?
And that's
I don't know. That's the point.
That's why I love this guy, bro.
Piece of
That's why I love
information.
this guy because he's like, he's we've all been in this. Like the three of us, like we've all been best friends for years, right? And it's like I like for a long time I felt like I was in my own lane whenever I would talk about Trump, whenever people would walk in here, and it's not like I'm a go hard Trump guy. I see everything for what it is, and brass tacks. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the trenches, bro. It's not like I'm not a fucking millionaire. I'm not a successful entrepreneur. Like
You're definitely successful.
We are
Debatable.
all in this. Like, next month might be completely different. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this as the next 6 months, the next 12 months, next 18 months. Like I'm looking at this as like, what does this do for me and my family? Family, like including you guys, because when it comes down to it, bro, like, I'm not gonna lower anything. Like it's got to go up from here. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Is like I've got my crew. I love you guys with all my heart, and it's like I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you love. I don't care what you do in your off time, bro. It's like the crew that we made is so dope that like We just need to make sure that this wave goes here, this wave makes it here, this wave makes it here, then this wave makes it here, then this wave makes it here. And that's all I want out of this relationship is for, I don't care who you vote for, left or right, blue or green, red or yellow, purple or orange. Like, I just want to be able to thrive in the situation that we're in. And the past 4 years, bro, has been so goddamn difficult, man. Like,
It is difficult.
I'm struggling to pay our own employees, let alone stocking the store. You know what I mean? And like, these are things that we shouldn't have to be worrying about. We shouldn't have to be worrying about nobody showing up Monday through Friday and only coming in on Saturday and Sunday because we're an out of town place, and this is where the fucking people from Louisville come in.
Yeah, I have a lot to say on that, but we do have to wrap up. But you are a successful entrepreneur.
Thank you.
I don't
feel
believe
that way. I feel like I'm with every other human being on the planet trying to strive for his meal. You know what I mean? Like,
well, everyone's striving for their meal right now because the economy is in a dire situation because a lot of the factors. But I will say, you are a successful entrepreneur. You are a 1%er. So
I'm like an 11%er. We need to get
there's
to that.
not 11% people that have
mentality.
Nope. I wouldn't say mentality. I would say brick and mortar that they've kept. Yeah, of course. That they've kept in standing fashion through a pandemic.
2024, best clothing store on the planet.
Yep.
Sir.
But outside of accolades, it's definitely a 1% situation. I'm involved. I'm a partner. I'm involved very, very as heavily as anyone's ever been. But I can see on the outside because that's just kind of how my brain works, and definitely 1%. And I think that there's merit to coming in every single day and trying to create something completely original every single day. That it's a part of the brain that less than 1% people have. So I would say you definitely have a successful entrepreneur, and you've definitely achieved that, my friend. So
thank you. Dude.
Yeah.
That
is not even up, in my opinion, up for a debate. We're
definitely in
rare. Economy is affecting us, dude.
We're in rare air. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand the situation that we're in and how.
The last thing people need is buy clothing.
Right.
Like the last thing you're maintaining off ideas in your head.
At the same time, like this isn't just a clothing brand. This isn't a Dick's.
No. It's not.
You know, this isn't something where you just like on Saturday you go to buy the clothes.
But the predominant income is brought in because of textile.
Oh,
industry.
Trust me, bro. We're
clothing.
definitely fucking dying when it comes to people coming in and buying clothes. Like yesterday, we had one sale. We had one sale for $33. Okay,
which Tyrell made,
and that's on a Monday. So every Monday, I've got to spend about $145 to pay staff. So on Monday alone, I lost $115. No big deal, but you start adding every Monday up and every Tuesday up and every Wednesday up and every Thursday up and every Friday up, because Fridays don't hit here. And then we've got Saturday and Sunday where we do real well. So then that's when everything flies out of here. And then Monday I'm back in here just fucking plucking away, trying to print what we can do for the weekend.
Yeah. See, I think if we're going to get down to that, I think there are solutions. It is about community driven and understanding the level of seriousness of where we're at.
The community's here for it,
and the community
sure.
is here for sure. And we're not here to rely on the community, but we are a part of the community. We have a whole day, 513 Day, on May 13th, where that is created from the
this body right here made 513 Day happen.
Exactly.
This little human sitting here in this green fucking chair is the reason why Cincinnati's got a 513 Day.
Yes.
I get no respect. Respect. I get no respect. NFL, I get no respect. Let's go. Cincinnati Bengals. You guys always want to put the fucking black owned out on here like they're putting the fucking place on the map. This is the one person that put 513 Day here for Cincinnati, May 13th. Black owned didn't do that.
Exactly. But
Cincy shirts didn't do
you
that.
got to have
Cincy
but you have
shirts
to have
didn't
the
do
brands.
that.
You have to have the brands to create the lane. If you don't have the multiple
No,
brands,
you have to have the mind capacity and the mind
Exactly.
mentality to do it, bro. Like
True.
when we created 513 Day, I wasn't nearly where I am today. I still had the Ohio logo on my belt. Like it was the Ohio logo, and then I was just getting into the Arch logo with the area codes underneath it. But I was the one that was pushing it through to make it to the point where, hey, they're like this should be a part of Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Like and Cincy shirts didn't do that.
no,
Black owned
no,
didn't do
no.
that. You know what I mean?
But
like, and I'm not trying to
But
put shade on
why
anybody.
Why would they think on that level? Because
Because no one's thinking on that level.
They're not, because they're not in the mind frame of the area codes being a reason to be successful, which is where the genius comes from.
It wasn't the area codes that made that happen.
But the area codes already existed, did they not?
Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah. So a natural fit is, I would see that. I mean, if I was coming to time, I would look. I was like that, because like I kind of always think of it like the four numbers.
I never
1234. What is 1234 to you?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. That's the only way you can do that. You can't go any further.
I never looked
than
at
At
513
numbers like that?
as May 13th ever.
Oh, I would like, if I wasn't in there, I would have been like, how my brain works. I was like, I'm a numbers guy, kind of like low key on the front end. I'm not, math is kind of hit or miss for me, but I would have been like, all right, well, what dates make the sense? Like for Beyond the Stage, the very first one was Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize that. That has nothing to do with 513 and Cincinnati colors. That is Kobe Bean Bryant that is no longer with us. But I recognize I'm gonna do sports. It's nice that Kobe Bryant Day is the very first one.
Right.
It makes sense, and that's where my brain goes. So if I was in the early stages of this, I would have been like, well, obviously the 513s are area code, so May 13th, I can probably make something of that. But like that's where my head would have gone. But your head already went there way before I would have even been there, because I wasn't in that mind frame of area codes. So it makes total sense, and you connected the dots. There's merit to that,
Right.
Even though you may not get the credit now that it doesn't matter, because this is about an internal thing, man. And at the end of the day, like the money that we're bringing in, we are a clothing brand. It's the last thing someone needs. This is a want, not a need. You know what I mean? So we have to master knowing what the wants are, not what their needs are. We have to make them want it because we know what we want. And the more we go to the wants, the more successful. And that is the internet. We use the internet for our
advantage.
You have to, because that's the world we live in. Most of the time, conversations, most people are dating on dating apps. They're not dating in person.
It's crazy.
And I'm not on a dating app or anything of the sorts, and I'm an in-person communicator. But people are on the internet, and we're the same way. And I think once we get this internet presence down that we're really hoping to create in the next few months, because you're going to see a bunch of stuff, anyone online that's paying attention, you're going to see a bunch of stuff from us in the future online, so keep posted on that. But like once that kind of takes over, I really think that the internet is going to do us justice. But
I can't wait, bro.
I'm excited, and you need to give yourself all the credit in the world for creating something that no one else had the courage to create. And the downside right now is a fleeing economy where people are keeping the money in their bank accounts and not spending. But every single weekend, I see the same group of people coming in and looking for new designs. So if that doesn't tell me something that's worth honorable mention, I don't know what is. So,
for sure, bro.
So I've gotten to know a lot of people that I wouldn't know otherwise here. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to meet these people, and they've got to know me. And I think that makes you a successful entrepreneur.
Makes us a success.
I am also an entrepreneur.
You know what I mean? Because
like that. But you did create the baseline.
Well, there's it. I wouldn't be here today without you and Tyrell. Like that. Like let's get that straight, bro. Because 7 days a week trying to run this ship, like I would have been burnt out fucking 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fact that you and Tyrell are here, and you represent the brand in such a way that that I don't even have to be here to know that you guys are gonna rep the brand like it's your own, because it is. Like at the end of
I've
the
taken it
day,
definitely on
when
as
this
mine,
when this thing blows up, and it will, like whether we have this store or not, like it's gonna blow the fuck up. And when it does, there's gonna be 3 people at the top of the food chain directing orders to everybody else. You know what I mean? And that's where that, like.
We don't need orders. We just
Well,
need
and that's crude.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see
crude
what-
layman's terms.
Yeah. At the top of the on the top of the food chain.
At the end of the day, like you and Tyrell and myself, like we're building something that is it's hard to do.
We're first to market.
But it's first
We're
to market.
first to market,
but it's going to be something where, if we can do it correctly, we're going to be able to do it in a fun way where Tyrell's going to have a blast teaching people how to run the store. You know what I mean? You're going to have a blast teaching people how to print the clothes. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be levels to it where, you know, we are completely overzealous about where we are in our life, because for 5 years Tyrell was here fucking opening the store, but now Tyrell doesn't have to. Now Tyrell gets to teach people how to open the store. You know, there's levels to it, and we got to get to that, man. And the only way to get to it is to keep pushing forward and to keep putting out designs that we don't know if work well, but we're going to keep pushing the boundaries and keep slapping against the wall.
I think the ticket, which I love it because my brain is a part of the creation. I think the lab is the ticket to the next level of success, because the lab is something that's so unique that can't be found anywhere else. Once we're able to fully find whatever, because the labs, there's just minor changes. Once that comes to where it becomes the place where Travel Channel needs to come here, or these places need to come here and display us on the internet. Once that happens, if you know, once that happens, we won't be having this conversation.
Right.
The next conversation will be like, what are we doing next with the lab? Because we need to think bigger, better. When are we gonna have a lab where you sit on a chair and it takes you into another little spot? You know what I mean? Like, when's it gonna happen? When are you gonna go behind the shelving to go to the green screen? You know what I mean? And I think that is where our future lies. But who knows? But we got some good things coming up, man. We're starting the reality show finally. We're gonna get some things going on. But I got a question for you before we get out of here. Trump or Harris? Trump.
Who do you think Trump's winning tonight, or you think Trump's winning?
I think Trump wins it on general. Who would I vote for?
How do you think that's going to turn out if Trump wins?
How do I think it's going to turn out if Trump wins? I think people just want change no matter where it comes from. So I think people are anticipating life to get better, and I don't even think life is bad because of whatever political office is in power. I think life is struggling right now because there was an opportunity to take advantage of small town people because of the pandemic. And we're only 4 years out of the pandemic, which is a average high school college experience.
Quick,
4 years is no time, and people could take advantage of people with lesser knowledge, and this was the time. This was the time to take advantage of them. And I think people just want to change and a shift, and I think Trump provides that on a ideologically level. So I think Trump wins because of just change. The same idea that Barack Obama was putting, change is this, but he's not preaching change, but change will happen because it's a shift of the guard. And he's already been in, so he's already knows the mistakes he's made. He can correct those. He can also find his way to further power, quote unquote, because power is what it's all about ultimately. And he can find it because this time, the people that were naysayers before may not be naysayers now because they're seeing a bad situation. Now, the reason that I'm on the opposite of thinking Harris would win, because the change in the guard from Biden to Harris, I don't think worked in their favor. If they had Michelle Obama in that specific place as a woman-led situation, I think the Obamas would win by a landslide.
Landslide, bro.
But because the Democratic Party didn't go that direction, they went with Kamala Harris. I think
she's been in office for
she's a career politician,
3.8
which
years.
I don't love career politician as a thing, but whatever.
She's not a career politician, but
she's viewed as one. I would say she's closer. She's closer than Trump is that.
Whatever.
No,
that
definitely.
word
You know what I mean? I don't see Trump as a career.
Trump's definitely not.
Trump's filed bankruptcy so many times. He
6
has a
times.
tower.
Yeah.
Like right. He's fired. That's more than one hand's worth. And like, he's got a tower made for him, and politicians don't have that.
That he built.
Politicians
like
have that.
he built that tower knowing the back ends. Like it's hard to fucking create a business in this day and age, bro. This guy built the New York skyline. You know what I mean? Like he put so much money into New York City. He built New York in the 80s. And now all of a sudden, like he's a threat to democracy. Like this guy.
But I think
what is the greatest city in the world? Greatest city in the world, is it Dubai, or is it New York City?
The greatest city in the world.
I'd imagine it'd be Paris.
New York.
Yeah, the greatest city in the world, though. I mean,
bro, Rihanna writes songs about New York.
Yeah.
If Trump wasn't there in the 80s building that skyline like he did, here's my big thing, and I've got to go because we're 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
Bro, Trump is a hospitality dude. He has been in this game since day one on hospitality. If the day-to-day people don't like it, he loses. You know what I mean? He's built casinos, hotels, restaurants. Like everything that he builds is catering towards the common person. He knows what the common person likes. You know, and he's been doing it for fucking 50 years, bro. You know what I mean? He's been doing it since the fucking 80s. And for him to come out and say, hey, I don't want to be president. I'll do it if the shit gets so bad. He didn't take the 250 grand a year. He's losing money. Not only did he lose money, but they're trying to steal his businesses from him while he's sitting at the top of the food chain, trying to run the country. And that's,
but I do think he wanted to be president.
Of course. Well, I
do think he wanted to be president.
I think he has lost so much money because
I don't think financially he's gaining, but I think
okay.
If you're one of the presidents of the United States,
if you're going in it for the second time,
Disney put you on the
show. Look. Let's say this. He's already gone through it once. He already lost a ton of money. He didn't take.
What's he had to gain? Okay.
He didn't take any money when he did become president, and they threw every wrench at him. They tried to plummet all of his businesses, and after January 6th, when he was not president, now he's going back to being president. He's been shot at, bro. Attempted assassination. Then they've tried taking all of his companies. They've tried putting him in jail for 330 something years, bro. Like, and he's still trying to become president of the United States. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't show you what of American heart is, that he's doing this all on the fucking sleeve, saying, "Hey, like, they're after you. I'm just in the way." Like, that was the hardest line that I've ever heard in my entire life, bro. Because it was so accurate. You know what I mean? Like if you understand what's happening, you see what's going on, and you see that they're trying to tear him down. And when Trump goes, "Hey, they're not coming after me. They're coming after you, but I'm in the way," because he's trying to drain the swamp or whatever it is. Like, that's some fucking baller shit, bro. And you've got to stop to listen. And if you don't stop to listen, then you're just gonna be left in the dust, because you've got to fucking understand. You got to listen. You got to hear what the other people have to say.
Yeah. And he's putting his neck out. He really is putting his neck out. I think
He
it-
put his
neck
literally
out.
put his neck out. He almost got assassinated
Yeah.
a fucking month and a half ago.
He's putting his neck out more than he ever had to. You know, we put our neck out here to make a living in these four walls in Newport, Kentucky, and that's that. And he's putting his neck out for an entire country. Now, is Kamala Harris putting her neck out? No, I think she is the path of least resistance. So because of that, I have obviously more respect for Trump in this situation than her. But I do think the other party of this would have something to say about it, and they're definitely going to have their opinions. And it's all opinions. We don't.
Who's the other party though? Who's the other party? There's only two. There's Trump.
Well, I'm saying the Democratic Party isn't putting their neck out like the Republican Party.
Oh, okay.
They're not because
she's gonna have
because right now they're already in office. They're already in a position of power, and Biden is stepping down so people can find change because of Kamala Harris, no matter what. So they're getting the best of both worlds. They're getting their party in office again if they win, and they're getting a new person to represent them. So they're getting the best of both worlds. Where Trump is going to have to shift it out and shift it back in, and it's going to be a little process.
He's getting rid of everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure he's going to get rid of everybody. Why would he keep anybody? That's not how it works. I feel like everyone is every time the new party comes in, everyone's shifted out, right?
All right, man. We're gonna have to get going, bro, because
Part two on this after the debate. We'll talk about this.
ABC has
Go watch the debate.
They've done on Kamala's data. They've done 100% of positive work on Kamala. When it comes to Trump, 93% of everything that they've said has been negative towards Trump. So I've got to go home and see this, bro. I've got to go home and see this in real time because this is something that it's the World Series of Earth. It's the World Series of the United States right now.
World Series of Earth. That's
Like
fair.
it's literally this is like that last president of the United States. Like,
this is probably the most important election we've ever had coming up, just because we're at a transition within America.
Get the Clintons out of office, bro. Get the Clintons out of office.
Yeah,
Get them out of office.
They'll find a way to get back in office, but
Not if Trump is here, bro.
it's fair for 4 years.
Draining
almost.
the swamp. He's draining the swamp.
And before I go out of here, I saw this interesting image the other day. You know, the majority of the world's UFO sightings by a landslide happen in the United States.
Really?
Look at the map; it's insane.
Don't most of them happen in Ohio? Isn't that like a large percentage?
It's literally the whole United States. But if you look at the map, how many times have been recorded? How many people? Europe and Russia and everything have very minimum, and they're all here. Just an interesting idea that I don't know why I thought about that, but it's very interesting that most of them happen. I mean, all of them. Like if you look at the map, it's kind of scary.
Kentucky Caves, bro. Let's go.
You know what I think
like
it is?
There's a reason.
I think it's just because the United. I think we're opening portals. I think there's something happening here that we're
Some
using.
Rick and Morty
We're
stuff
using
going on.
something. It's causing it but that's a whole other conversation. But I saw the image the other day. It's very interesting, and aliens are watching. They're probably watching the election and the presidential debates. So keep an eye on that, and appreciate you all for tuning in.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys. If you want to tune in next week, we have no guests right now. So if you guys want to be a guest, comment, DM one of us, and we'll make it happen. So
Yeah.
until next week, this is your boy Jay Banks, AI. Tyrell, what's happening, player? All right.
All right.
Next week, another episode of the PowWow. We'll see you guys.
Later.
We're out here.
Howdy. Bye. Oh. And
Perfect time to put that.
oh. We out. Appreciate y'all.